It's sort of open mic, but not everybody's going to get in my studio. Obviously, I'm limited, but I'm not that keen on certain people coming in my studio. I'm going to go, because I'm going to get rid of, I've got about, how many times have I got? 4, 5, 6, 5. I've got 17 tabs open because I've been looking at stuff. Some of it's pretty boring, really. Pretty much of a muchness. I did get a few notifications. I had to turn them off because I knew I'd get, as soon as I start doing a reading, you get loads of notifications. And I noticed Eric did a live stream for about 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I couldn't, the title, I mean, it's just somber reverence and extreme thankfulness. Yeah, right. I actually thought Ben had deleted his channel, but it wasn't his channel, obviously. I don't particularly care what Ben does. It doesn't mean a lot, really. It never does. But anyway, I had a look at Mark Reed. He had some toxic transvestite on there. I was going to do something on the Inquisitions yesterday. I didn't get to do that. Let's have a look at some of these stuff. I'm going to put links. Where shall I start? Mark Reed. I mean, Reed's Royal Rumble. Why is it a Royal Rumble? If anybody's there, come in the side chat. Oh, you've gone. I know there was 2 watching. Suits me. I don't care. Like I'm sat in my flat worrying whether somebody comes to my channel or not. Well, I mean, it'd be nice to get more people to come to my channel, but maybe because it's Resurrection Sunday or something. Do you really celebrate Easter? I've just been reading about Easter in a book called The Two Babylons. I've got it on my bed. I read about 2 or 3 chapters of it. It's quite a large article. I will read some of the rest. I read The Two Babylons years ago. Alexander Hislop. Make sure you get the right book, because certain people have done a so-called abridged version. I can't remember what an abridged version is, to be honest, but I was warned against it, especially with, I mean, I did read the book of Enoch over 20 odd years, it must have been nearly 29, 30 years ago. I haven't really bothered with it. I never had my own copy. If I did, I didn't bother with it. I have read it all. The Two Babylons. I've just downloaded a PDF. I made it, beg your pardon, I made it searchable. So I can, what I'm going to do, I've got a couple of PDFs that I've downloaded. Yeah, where's my little drink? Let's see if anybody's watching or bothering. No. Oh well, suits me. You're all so holy. I mean, why do you need a special day of the year to remember Christ risen from the dead, his death, burial, and resurrection? should be thinking of that every day, really. Shouldn't we, Ben? Anyway, enough of him. Oh, I've got a picture of Ben somewhere. Let's see if I can show it. I'm just being annoying because I know I'm going to be accused of being keeping it going by you know who. There's Ben. I found a picture of him online. Now then, let's have a look at Mark Reed and his studio here. Oh, hopefully he won't mind me. I'm going to put the volume up a little bit on there.
At least here in America, tend to use. And they're just mad that they're now being called out for things that aren't considered acceptable any longer. And this is sort of the retaliation. These are retaliatory tactics. That's why, not in every instance, but I would argue in the vast majority of them, this is usually a middle-aged or older white man, generally from either the United States, the United Kingdom, or Canada, the Western world. And I think that...
I was hoping Steph could stay. Oh, there you are, Steph. Sorry, you're back.
And this is just the last sentence I'll wrap up. And I think that the trend that we're seeing with the kind of people who are reacting this way to wokeism and cancel culture kind of demonstrates how it's sort of just an illegitimate overreaction to being held accountable for your words and actions.
Yeah, Stephanie, what's on your mind? I want to hear your thoughts.
Oh, there's lots on my mind.
Well, there would be
lots and lots on my mind. It's just, oh, look, it's another Friday, and it's like every Friday since 2018. I am so tired. I want you to understand how tired. And how progressively and more progressively scared trans people are at the tone deafness of centrists who compromise with themselves when they don't realize that the goal of people like Matt Walsh is literally elimination. I'm trying to be as calm and as forthright as possible.
Oh, please don't be angry. Who's Matt Walsh? I've heard that name before. Where have I heard Matt Walsh's name before?
But whether it's because of monetary reasons or whatever, we're the cash cow for the right wing right now. We are the Julia Serrano wrote a book about the trans experience called
Oh yeah, I don't want to hear more of that. Thank you. No thanks. I was listening to a bit of Chris this morning.
It's Chris Lucas. Days April 9th, 2023. It's about 4:30 in the morning. I just wanted to do a kind of a quick video, just kind of correcting just one thing I did yesterday. It's in that video and about the 37 to about maybe the 35-minute mark to 45-minute mark, where I was talking about this, and I'll blow this up on the screen so people can see it. It's just one date calculation. I think I got it wrong in the whole video, because what I was doing was I was using Bing, hoping I could do, look up the dates for something quickly. And when I was on Bing, think this is the screen, or maybe it's this one. No, hold on, sorry. Just to show you, it's like when I was oh, where'd it go? I guess it's not on this one. Well, should have been on this one. But anyway, there. Oh yeah, here it is. So when I was looking up dates for like the full moon in 1843, I guess what it did was it just calculated, and I didn't catch this, but all it did was calculate the dates for 1844 twice, and it gave me a slightly different day. And I think what it was probably doing was going by Israel and the United States time, maybe. And maybe that's what gave me two different days that were like maybe a day apart. So I just want to make just this video just to, throw out that correction. It was in this, and all I had to do was with this one letter to that Snow wrote, some Seventh-day Adventist, last name Snow. I can't remember what his first name is. But he's talking about the Karaites. And it's this line right here off of this picklepublishing.com site. It's like a Seventh-day Adventist defense site. But it says the Karaite Jews, on the contrary, still adhere to the letter of the Mosaic and commence with the new moon, the nearest the barley harvest in Judea, which was one moon later than the rabbinical year, the Jewish year of AD 1843, as the Karaites reckon it, in accordance with the Mosaic law. Therefore commenced this year with the new moon on the 29th of April, and the Jewish year of 1844 will commence the next April in 1843, 2,300 days later. But it's basically right here. I guess yesterday's video I said that there was like a full moon on the 3rd. So I thought that they were like, this guy was way off. But when I went back and checked the dates, the new moon was at this date, and the full moon was actually about 14 days later. So, and that's kind of the one minor thing. And then I just kind of want to go over a few things about the language in Daniel 8. Hey everybody. Yeah, I'm just doing this a quick video. It's just gonna kind of just touch on like this whole daily sacrifice, because Jamie was on my show yesterday. He's a Seventh-day Adventist, for people who don't know, Jamie Russell.
For people who don't know about Jamie Russell, he must be the dorkiest clown on YouTube. Seriously, that many people have been on it, Chris. I don't think you're going to get anywhere. It would be a matter of pride now for Jamie to leave Seventh-day Adventism and admit that he's been wrong for the last 3 years plus. I've seen him, no offense to you, Chris, and I'm certainly not boasting on somebody else's behalf. That's not my game. Better theologians, to put it that way, have been on his case over it. Well, maybe not better theologians. I mean, the rubbish comes out with people who are competent in certain things. Notice Jamie's contradictions and things. The guy's a mess, really, in my opinion.
And I just want to clarify a couple of points.
Who for, though?
So I'm still working on this video because I really want to make sure I nail this one part of it down really hard. And that's like here in this verse 14 where it says, and this is where the Seventh-day Adventists get their whole entire doctrine from, because they say that this 2,300 is actually they say you do this year for a day prophecy. And so this is 2,300 days. And what it was the King James Bible in 1611 made an error where they took the words out. It says, don't do this. But they said, oh, no, we're going to rewrite the Bible.
No, they didn't say they were going to rewrite the Bible at all, Chris. That's the bit I wanted to get on here. I was going to download the video and this, that, and the other. I'm not going to listen to all of this. They wanted to what? Rewrite the Bible. And he's going to come out with that well-known chestnut of a phrase. Oh, what was it now? I forgot. Oh, yeah. It really should say. The really should say version. Yeah, I've heard that before, and not just from you, Dave. You're not the only one who's learned anything.
Rewrite God's holy word.
Yeah, no, they weren't rewriting it. They were not rewriting it, Chris. I've had this discussion with you before about the Geneva. You got lambasted, I think, by some King James only people, and unfortunately it put you off the KJV or whatever. I can't remember what your reason was. Oh yeah, because of the annotations in the Geneva that aren't in the King James. I tried to explain to you that those annotations aren't scripture anyway. And if there was a necessity for some of those annotations to be in the King James, it'd be in center column references or at the side, marginal references. The King James Bible polished all the others, the Geneva, the Great Bible, the Coverdale, the Tyndale, Wycliffe. Did I mention Coverdale? I can't remember the others. Right. Erasmus. Struth. Anyway, I'll leave that then. I don't want to listen to much more of it, of that kind of drivel. Rewriting the Bible. Yeah, right. I'll just delete that tab. I'm going to get rid of all these tabs because I've saved a few, you see. Oh. Yeah, I've got a few of these. I don't know if anybody's heard of Steve McRae completely destroying Eric Wolfbitten Jewel on his channel. That doesn't surprise me, really. But let's read this here. Let's make it bigger. In fact, because I'm blocked on Eric's channel. I mean, it's weird, isn't it? He copies Graham Gould. And I've got no beef with Graham particularly. But Graham Gould sort of tried to insist that Bill go over and talk to him and discuss this, that, and the other, and blah, blah. And Bill finds out he's blocked on there. Eric, Vision, Lionheart, giving himself big names like that, you know. I mean, that is weird in itself anyway. Lionheart tried to insist that I owe him an apology, which he will never get. Firstly, because I'm not aware of anything that I've done that he would deserve an apology for. And secondly, if somebody demands an apology from me, and unless I'm aware of whatever it is I'm supposed to be apologizing for, he's not going to get one. But if he's demanding an apology, he definitely will never get one. And I find Eric to be an extremely rude person. He does it regularly. Even when Graham came into my stream, Bill was there, he deleted it. I wouldn't have done that. I would have made it public. Eric could not stop over talking Graham Gould. That is a fact. Even when I muted him, he carried on muttering. Unmuted him, you could still hear him talking. He did not want Graham Gould to speak. I did, because I think Graham had a right to express his opinion in a reasonable sort of way with Eric. Oh, bitten. Right. Eric Jurley. Let's hold on, which tab am I on now? Yeah, share this tab instead. Sorry, I meant to, yeah. I thought I was sharing this tab already. There it is. I'll just double check on my thingy. No, I don't care particularly. I've got no beef with Eric. I just find him extremely rude. I really don't want to talk to the guy. I mean, it's useless to even try, really. Especially if we're in disagreement with him, I would say. I did sort of communicate with him the other day, encourage him to go in and talk to Linda. There was nobody else that was likely to go in and, you know. I've got to say, I mean, I don't see any real value in going to Eric's channel anyway. But I am blocked on there. That's fine. Suits me. So Steve McRae. Oh, this is Steve McRae. I couldn't see all of the. Let's have a look. What is he, an atheist? I'll just have a look at his about. Oh, he's a graduate of Naval Nuclear Power School, Knowles Atomic Power Laboratories. This guy sounds like so he's well trained in science, philosophy apparently. He's got, well, he talks to a lot of PhDs and stuff. Yeah, 16,000. So Steve McRae. Yeah, there we are. Nuclear Power School. This is his about page. Don't know what he's got on there. Oh, bitten. Let's do a search. I didn't do before. I may as well do now. See what comes up. Bill Ludlow. I've seen him around before. Think Easy. I don't listen to that, but I wonder if it is one of Eric's little great debate community. Shannon Q. Where have I seen Shannon Q? Yeah, I found that one. I've seen the Geek Room about. They were quite brutal on a couple of people. What's this Think Easy? Let's have a look at that one, the Geek Room. Because I did find them sort of vaguely entertaining.
Podcast, and he's fucking superstar over here.
And
real quick, the cosmic microwave background radiation is the residual afterglow, 2.73 Kelvin, because it, right?
Yeah, but I mean, no.
You guys do and think you're going to get political. You guys.
Boring. Who's this thinky?
Okay, welcome everybody to a special edition of Let's Talk About You, which
obviously.
Give me a
but,
synopsis. Give me the cold.
and we're getting into theology now, so bear with me.
Yeah, I've got that somewhere. But I know for a fact, because of certain YouTube thumbnails that I've seen with Eric, I've come across Eric before 5 or 6 years ago, probably a bit longer actually. If only I could remember. 2014, maybe 2015. Who knows? But yeah, it was a snotty interaction. Amazing. What is that? No, let's get rid of that. I'm not really. I'm going to put links to all this garbage. I'll put that link in there.
books and there's weird things. They have these like covers with paper and let's move to the next one.
Well,
sure.
Well, I mean, obviously, before we go on, let me just say, it's a difficult thing to talk about somebody when they're not here and in front of them. But this is something that Ken Hovind has put out in public, so I don't feel a reason to hold back. But
yeah, and I brought this to his attention. I mean, I have a video with me talking to him on air, so
natural reading of and I acknowledge it's special pleading, which is why I don't.
Hovind had a time machine. Clearly, that is not a correct citation.
Right, I'm going to read this. Here, look. Eric Wolfit Jewel blocked me. Lol. This is like one of the most comical things I have seen in ages. He gets utterly destroyed in a discussion and retaliates by blocking me. That is just icing on the cake. Click show more, it gets even better, and please sub, blah blah. He also deleted all the comments from the video that explained to him how he got utterly destroyed and how he wouldn't let me speak. Go figure. What I did manage to get out was enough to show he had no clue. He's uploading the discussion to his channel so people can see firsthand what type of coward this guy truly is. This was his argument against evolutionary theory. And evolution is a theory. Evolution isn't proven. Premise 1. Premise 2, there are no transitional fossils Yep, there you go. That is the genius that is Eric Wolfbitten. Jewel. Here is the original link to his video. I've got. Oh, amazingly, it's deleted. Oh, oops. Oops. It's deleted. Great debate community. I'll have a quick scan of that website. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, hold on. Why didn't I share? I share screen accidentally. Steve McRae. Completely destroying Eric Wolf Jewel. Yeah, there it is. How did that tab get deleted? Let me sharing thingy. Let's have a listen.
A theological non-cognitivist says the proposition cannot be you cannot attribute a truth value to it.
In other words, they take neither the position of atheism nor.
See that image there? I remember that from years ago. 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah, definitely. I commented. I asked him some questions or other. I think it. Yeah, it will have been in the side chat, and I got a really snotty answer. I knew. I only realised the other day. Yeah, I've come across this guy years ago. 5 or 6 years ago. No big deal. I mean, I didn't have any grudge or anything. Anyway, let's listen to this. I mean, he'll block you. He'll say, you need to come to my channel to apologise to moi, right? And I'm blocked on there. Bit like Graham doing that with Bill. Because Bill's blocked. Not that I'm finding it funny. Right. But Graham was insisting that Bill go over and discuss the matter, talk to him, blah blah, And it's blocked. So there you go. Eric does the same thing. And I hope, Eric, that you do keep me blocked. Yeah. Eric, by the way, paid, and he won't admit it, or perhaps he will. He paid $75 for a 1-hour conversation with T-Jump. T-Jump confirmed it in an email with me that he charges $75 an hour. And I'm not kidding. What a dummy.
Or theism.
Worse than that, they don't even they can't even put people in a category of theism or non-theism, and that's a dichotomy, right? A or not.
How do you figure that?
Well, do you know what a dichotomy is?
Yeah, go ahead. How do you figure
because
it?
Theological non-cognitivist says that the whole concept of these categories are nonsensical. So they cannot be put in a category to be like.
So they have no position either way. They choose neither atheism nor theism.
But you're missing the bigger picture.
That makes them an agnostic, right?
No, you're missing the bigger picture. They're not agnostic either. They are neither theist or any group under non-theist.
So they're agnostic.
No, agnostics are non-theist.
Agnostic. They are agnostic.
Agnostics are a type of non-theist.
Isn't it true that an agnostic rejects both positions? They do not accept either position of atheism or theism.
And a theological cognitivist says, what is atheism and what is theism?
Okay, so it's still rejecting them and not holding to either one.
And they also would not be put under non-theism and atheism, theism, and
no, you're just pulling that out of your butt, dude.
No, that's what
they've
theological
they've
dichotomist.
got the choice. They've got the choice. They can accept theism or not. They can accept.
Agnostic just means no knowledge. A Gnostic would be someone who has knowledge or thinks they've got secret knowledge or special knowledge. An agnostic denies it. I know it's a pain in the neck, semantics, but an agnostic has no knowledge of whether there is or isn't a God. These atheists will play about with terminology and stuff, but basically Eric doesn't know what he's talking about.
Accept atheism or not. When you choose neither position, you are, by
That's
definition,
not what a theological cognitivist says. A theological cognitivist says the proposition has no ability to have a truth value assigned to it.
In
It
other
cannot
words,
be
they're
true.
agnostic.
No, an agnostic says it can have a truth value assigned to it. As an agnostic myself,
They can, but not necessarily. Okay.
There's
Now
a
let's look
difference,
here.
a huge difference between an agnostic and a theological non-cog.
Well, they both reject the idea of theism, and they both reject the idea of atheism.
But an agnostic is still under non-theism. A theological non-cog would not be.
Hold on a second. We've got Brendan in with us. Hello, Brendan. Welcome.
Yeah, hey, Brandon.
Hey, how's it going?
Nice to actually talk to you, man.
Hold on
Good to
just
see you
a second.
Yeah, it's good to meet you, Steve.
Yeah, likewise.
And
yeah, I've been here for about, I think, probably about the last 5 minutes. I caught the majority of this conversation. Pretty interesting so far. I like it.
We're going to be checking something here. Now,
crickets, man.
Yeah, doors open. Beautiful, beautiful out here. Okay. All right.
By the way, you're going to fix my name later. I'm ODD on that.
Yeah, no problem.
Good.
Okay, number 3. This is the definition for agnostic. Okay. You see, it's a pretty full definition. It's listed.
No, it's not.
Sure it is.
I reject colloquial definitions. If you want to use definitions, go to a philosophical source.
Anyway, I see why you want to reject it. The definition of agnostic
it's a dictionary.
Now, if you want a definition in philosophical terms concerning agnosticism and all that, generally, yeah, I mean, the dictionary, it can be useful. But if you're going to get into these so-called philosophical debates, I would have said you need to go to Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. What's that? Hold on. The kettle's boiling and I'm just... Yeah. I could go there now. I've got a web page open to SEP.
The definition of agnostic is a person who holds neither of two opposing views.
Yeah, very too generic.
Okay.
If you're going to give a definition, because we're talking about philosophical positions, why do you go to a
Are you saying my philosophical position is wrong in that we don't have agnostics, atheists, and theists?
I'm saying if you want to understand what these concepts are, you need to go to philosophical source. Just like if you want to understand science, you need to go to a scientific source.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
Because definitions for science are different than what you find in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Right? Is that true?
You agreed with me yesterday on this.
I agree with you 80%. It's the other 20% that you need to get right, and you're
so
not.
Here's what we're going to see that you agree on. Let me see. Where was
you were more correct than Brandon was, no offense. But I think Brandon actually may have the potential to understand this better. If you talked about last night's conversation we had with him. Yes, you were more in the correct than he was, but you both were wrong. And I was saying in the live chat, you both are making mistakes.
Well,
yeah, no offense taken to that. I'm good.
The position that we were taking is that we have atheists, we have theists, and we have agnostics, and that the terms that are in between, like agnostic, atheist, are incorrect, misunderstood, misapplied, and just plain wrong. There's no such thing.
In some case, well, it's again, this is where you got to tread carefully. Okay. The term agnostic is contextual. It can mean an epistemic modifier, but only if it makes sense in using it in the hard atheist position. So a hard atheist says, I believe God does not exist.
Well, we were saying that, you said all that hard atheist and soft atheist stuff was nonsense.
No, listen to me carefully.
Yeah, you said that to
what
me.
What I said was, in relationship to soft atheism, it is nonsensical. Matt Dillahunty has a video on this with Anthony Magnabosco. He's telling him straight out, and he's thought about it. And the reason he's thought about this is no in small part to our group and somebody in our group that had this conversation with him. Agnostic atheism doesn't make sense in light of soft atheism. In terms of hard atheism, it's redundant.
Yeah.
So why use it if it's redundant?
Okay,
why it's redundant?
We're going to open this up, and I'm going to share this. This is your what you wrote to Brendan yesterday. Okay, sure. You introduce yourself. You introduce yourself, and then you say, Eric and I don't agree on much, but on this, I happen to agree with him, as well as most atheists I know do as well.
Right.
That atheism is not just a lack of belief.
According to philosophy. Yeah.
Right. You go on then to describe, and you say, meaning that agnostic in this view are neither theists nor atheists.
Right. But now this is where you're getting confused, though.
I'm not the confused one here, dude.
Okay, well, I do this regularly. This is
we had those
my area of my channel, so I'm telling you, I'm very not confused on this.
Well, we agreed that there were those three positions. Now, the question is, of those three positions, is atheism the most?
There are multiple more positions than that. Do you realize this?
We're talking about these three positions.
Okay, where do the other positions fall then? What is skepticism? What is pantheism? What is atheism?
You and I agreed that there were only these three positions.
No, I've never agreed that.
That's what
absolutely we were not. I've never agreed that.
But all this other stuff is ridiculous. That's what you just said right here, Eric.
There are many positions on this on the theological landscape.
When discussing atheism, agnosticism, or theism, that covers everybody.
No, it doesn't.
Well, sure it does.
No, it doesn't cover theological non-cogs. It doesn't cover ichthyosis.
Of course, agnostics cover that.
No, it does not. You're
rejecting both positions.
No, you're making the same mistake by trying to assume agnostics under atheism like they are.
Which position do they accept?
The theological non-cog?
Yeah.
None of them.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
They don't accept theism. They don't accept atheism or agnosticism.
So which do they more closely resemble?
None of them. That's the whole point of being a theological non-cog.
No. You're just trying to get out of it, dude. Okay,
how am I trying to get out of it? This is logical reasoning.
You're trying to get out of it because you're not admitting that.
Tell me what
they fall under the definition of agnostic. That's rather obvious.
No, absolutely they do not. Then you don't understand what theological non-cog.
You can say that. Everybody knows.
Tell me what a theological non-cog is.
Everybody knows better. Now here's
Brendan. Do you know what a theological non-cog is?
Now we're going to get into whether it's the.
I have a basic understanding of what a theological non-cog is.
Can Brendan tell us what a theological?
Hold on, Brendan. We're going to go into why atheism is the most unreasonable, unscientific, and illogical position to hold of the three.
Well, I would like to actually finish this if I can, because you kind of.
We already showed that you agreed with me basically, and now
that is not what just happened.
Well, let me just ask you, what does it to the question of does God exist? What does the atheist position tell us?
You want the philosophical, or do you want the colloquial?
Well, we have the three positions of atheist, agnostic, and theist.
You're asking about one of those positions. Do you want the you want the theological? Do you want the philosophical definition that you'll find in Stanford's Encyclopedia of Philosophy, the International?
Okay, let's put it in a nutshell. Okay, this is the problem with people that don't want to come forward with a straight answer. You pretend like you don't understand.
You have to ask a straight question. Your question.
All right. The question is, does God exist? An atheist would answer A, yes, B, no, or C, I am agnostic on the position.
A philosophical atheist would reject the proposition and say that proposition's false. A colloquial under the colloquial definition, which you will find in a generic type source, a soft atheist would say, I lack a belief in that. There are two different types of atheists.
Well, you already talked about how lack of belief is an improper definition.
No, I did not.
Again, sure you did.
You're completely misquoting to what I'm saying, and this is what people need to know.
Here's what it says.
That is not what I was saying. Okay,
Eric and I don't agree on much, but on this, I happen to agree with him as well as most atheists I know do as well. That atheism is not just a quote.
Can I explain it now?
Unquote.
Or do you want to just repeat it a million times? Can I explain it?
You go on.
All right, so let me explain this. Atheism is not just a lack of belief when you factor in the philosophical position. Since that position exists, I believe that it is inappropriate to say atheism is just a lack of belief. If, however, you do not think or worry about the philosophical position, if you just take it as soft,
as long as you're not worried about the real meaning, it's cool.
Well,
you can change it.
I've been fighting against this for ages. This is what I was trying to explain to Brendan last night, and he was more than willing to listen. He was quite agreeable to listen to this. However,
so you agree with me that.
Listen to me. It is still a valid definition. If an atheist wants to say they're a lack theist, that's the name that Ozzy has coined.
I've just looked up the definition of theological non-cognitivism. And yeah, okay, I Googled it. I mean, I could have gone on to Stanford Encyclopedia Fossil. I've got 2 tabs from that website open already, and I'm trying to get rid of tabs. Theological non-cognitivism is the non-theist position that religious language, particularly theological terminology such as God, is not intelligible or meaningful, and thus sentences like God exists are cognitively meaningless, not comprehensible. It doesn't mean anything to them, whether you say there's no God or there is God. It's cognitively meaningless. Cognitive comprehension, cognitively, I'll just expand on that word a little bit. In a way that relates to or affects cognition. It's about comprehension, I think. But I suppose that would be another debate, wouldn't it? What is theological non-cognitivism?
The neologism that means a lack of belief is mostly a pejorative, but somebody that wants to basically take the soft atheist approach but have a hard atheist opinion and then avoid a burden of justification. That's generally what it means, but just make it very simple. A lack theist is somebody who lacks a belief. There are definitions out there that you can go by. I don't like that definition. I don't accept that definition for me. But if anybody else wants to, I cannot stop them. It's a weak definition. It leads to absurdities that I believe, but I cannot stop somebody from having a bad definition if they want to use it. There's no intrinsic.
Okay, so we agree it's a bad definition.
Oh, absolutely, it's a bad
definition. Okay, good.
But it is a definition.
But it's a bad one. It's not a correct one.
Yeah, do you know where it came from?
Not a correct usage. Okay.
Yeah, do you know
it doesn't really matter. The point is it's incorrect.
Well, where it came from does matter. It's a big thing. People should know where it came from. It came from 1972 by a paper by a guy named Anthony Flew called The Presumption of Atheism. You should know the history behind this stuff if you're going to be discussing it.
Well,
it's really critical, actually.
I don't need to read, 10,000 dozen, philosophical books to know that atheism holds a position where they.
Well, you really should.
You really should. I mean, seriously.
Oh, I do. I read, and trust me, I've had hundreds of debates in the last year, hundreds.
But these are
most of them were moderated. So, the thing is now we're going to get into the question of how illogical it is to hold the atheist position and how unscientific. You made a statement a little bit ago that this has nothing to do with science. Well,
correct.
It certainly can.
So the question of if it's scientific or not, your premise saying it's unscientific is completely irrelevant.
And I'm saying that.
Let me ask you something. When conducting any sort of science, can we have a bias?
Sure. I think everybody has a bias when they conduct science.
Oh, well, then you're not practicing science. You're practicing pseudoscience if you practice it.
That's not how it works. Again, why don't you take some courses in science? What science recognizes that people have bias. The way they go about it is to tell
real
people,
science does not use that bias. Pseudoscience.
You interrupt me, I can't explain it, Eric. Because this is the time where you're in my wheelhouse, so let me explain it to you. A scientist will have bias. To deny that bias is impossible to say that they don't have it. What you do is you be objective and you put that bias to the side. You don't say that it does not exist.
Thank you.
There's a difference in what you just said and what I just said, though.
All right, now, what does science do? Tell me what science.
Science explains natural phenomenon.
Okay. Does science observe?
Science observes, tests, and have experimentation.
Okay. Observes. And go ahead, explain that again to everybody.
Science observes, has experimentation, and comes up with an explanation for an observed phenomenon.
Okay. Now, does science? All right. Let's talk about this for a moment. Let's talk about illogical and unscientific.
Sure.
How unscientific would it be if you were to come up with a theory that depended on your knowledge of whether or not a God existed, and you chose the position of God does not exist?
It would be 100% unscientific because science adheres to what's called methodological naturalism.
In other words, you can't
cannot justify God claim.
You can't justify that claim scientifically, correct?
You cannot claim God exists or does not exist using science. That is outside its purview.
Well, that's not true. You can use the claim.
It is true. That's the basis of science.
You can use the claim that God exists.
No, you cannot.
You can't use the claim. Of course you can, because that's testable in a number of ways.
Then you're violating one of the main principles of science, which is methodological naturalism.
Explain that.
Methodological naturalism is the position that all natural phenomenon had natural explanations. You cannot invoke God to be an explanatory position. One, because it's outside the realm of naturalism, and two, something that explains everything explains nothing.
I'm saying that in just the exact same way that you can test the theories regarding the Big Bang, which you can't. You can't directly test them. You have to test their prediction.
Well, that's what we do. But
you have to exactly. I'm right.
Yeah, we test prediction.
Well, we can do the same thing with God. We can say, well, if the Bible is true, then we can make our certain predictions.
But
sure,
you can't. That violates
absolutely we can.
Okay.
Now, how logical is it to take an atheist position?
Well, let's get this started.
When you're making a claim to know what you cannot possibly know, how logical is it?
Eric, two different things. One, if you don't know what methodological naturalism is, of
course I do, dude. I wanted you to explain it for everybody.
Okay, can you tell everybody what ontological naturalism is then?
Look.
I guess not. Okay, so let me just let me just. I mean, I don't think you know these terms, Eric. I just don't.
I don't care what you think. Here's what I do know. Here's what I do know.
And the people listening,
I do know for a fact, okay, that you try to get out of the fact that the agnostics exist as people that reject is it to make a claim that you cannot possibly know?
Who first of all, an atheist
claim with the question, does God exist? The atheist says no, the theist says yes, and the agnostic chooses
let's analyze this. Let's analyze this. Brandon, pay close attention here. I'm glad you're here. I got you. Good. All right, so here's the proposition. P equals some God exists, which is equivalent to at least one God ontologically exists in the universe. Would you both agree with that? They're the same thing, right? At least one God exists or some God exists.
Now,
how's that not any different? That's not even a contention. That's the same thing.
The question
at least
is,
one God exists in the universe. At least one God existing in the universe is exactly the same as saying some God exists. At least there's one God. It's the same thing. Okay. So the theist asserts that to be true.
Right.
Okay. The atheist asserts that not to be true. However, those are both what's called dasastic or belief positions. They're not asserting them as knowledge claims, right? So
of course they're assuming knowledge.
No, they're not. These are
Of course they
dasastic
are.
positions.
If I ask you, does God exist? And you say no, you are
That
making
is a belief claim.
you are making
By
a
definition.
claim.
No. Listen to
Okay,
me very
it's
carefully.
the agnostic that would say, I don't
Eric.
choose either position.
Eric, you don't understand how this works. You know what the
Oh,
word
I understand exactly how it is.
I don't think you do, and I, hope
I
you
understand that you're trying to get out of this too, because
there's nothing to get out of. This is basic.
yeah, when you're making claims that you can't possibly prove.
Well, I could show you. I can show you though. Do you know what the word belief means in philosophy?
Let me ask you the basic question here.
How about you just maybe you just answer your question for us? Do you know what the word belief?
You don't seem to grasp what we're talking about
I
here.
grasp this just fine. I run hangouts and I talk to PhDs on this topic all the time, every day.
Okay, then why can't you give me a straight answer?
Because I can give you a straight answer. I'm trying to.
Okay. What is the atheist position to that question? Yes, no, or I choose.
The atheist rejects the proposition, which means they believe the proposition's false.
So when you ask an atheist,
not
God
knowledge.
exist? Hold on. You're trying to dance out of this, and I'm not going to let you.
There's no dancing here. This is
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. When you ask an atheist, do you believe in God? Yes, no, or you choose the agnostic position.
Okay, now you're even more confused here. Oh my God. Okay, there's two different ways you can look at atheism.
So you can't give a straight answer.
These are straight answers. I can't get more straight. If you don't understand, that's your problem.
No, I do understand, and I understand that you're doing everything you can do to not give that yes.
I am telling you straight up as possible. This is kindergarten stuff, dude.
Okay, put it in one
right,
word.
so kindergarten
yes,
level
no,
philosophy.
or agnostic.
So, Brandon, pay attention here. Okay.
Yes, no, or agnostic.
They would say no. I just said 1,000 times. They say no. It rejects them as a belief.
Thank you.
Okay,
now that you they could also choose the agnostic position, which is I don't know.
No, they can't. Okay,
of course they can.
No, listen to me very carefully.
They can't be agnostic now.
Let me know. Let me know when I can speak.
You're saying they can't be agnostic.
I'm just gonna let you talk until you're ready to listen to what I have to say.
I've listened.
Every time I say something, you stop me like one sentence into it.
Okay, you just admitted that the atheist says to the question, does God exist? The atheist says no. All right. Now, do they have the option of choosing the agnostic position of I don't know?
Am I going to get time to speak here?
I'm just asking, do they have that option?
They can't. No, they can't.
They don't have the option.
Well, there's no option to be made if they've already evaluated the proposition. But since you don't know what that means.
An agnostic cannot say, no, I choose neither position.
Can I explain it to you now, or are you just going to interrupt me every sentence?
Well, how do you
exactly? Brandon, let me know when you want to have a fair talk on this, Brandon, because you.
This is fair. Go ahead. Explain to me how.
I'm down to have a fair conversation at any point.
Yeah,
right now I am free, so.
Let me know how an agnostic cannot hold an agnostic position.
Brandon, do you think he's allowing me to actually give it a fair position?
Oh, no, not at all. This is absolutely ridiculous.
This is basically
you're trying to equate belief and knowledge. You're trying to say, whenever you ask the question, does God exist, to an atheist, and an atheist says no, you're trying to assert that what he is trying to tell you is that he knows that it is not
the case. Right. Exactly. So let me make this very clear, Eric, because I'm telling you right here now, you do not understand this anywhere near.
Okay. Well, we're going to look at this definition again.
Okay.
Hold on
First of all, let me finish. Again, I cannot even speak.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're denying the definitions, dude.
You're looking.
Why am I not surprised?
You got a colloquial. This is like a kindergarten going. Oh, look, I have finger paint. This is.
I don't see you bringing up any other definitions here.
Look at. I told you. Yes, I did. I said go to Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Go to the Internet Encyclopedia.
Okay, pull it up and let it show me how I'm wrong.
You're running the hangout. Go to Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Look in there.
Go ahead. You're the one that knows where it's at. Pull it up.
Okay, can I give it to you and then you can show it to everybody? Sure.
Show them where I'm wrong.
All right, here you go.
Okay, look here. A person who holds that the existence or the ultimate cause as God and the essential nature of things are unknown or unknowable, or the human knowledge is limited to experience.
Okay, now actually
Okay.
look at a real definition by
That's one
philosophical source.
of several
Go-
parts of this
Sure,
definition.
can you show Stanford Encyclopedia? This is what I was trying to explain, but you won't let me finish because you think you know all this and you don't. So let me go and show this the Stanford Encyclopedia, and let me try to explain it for a second.
Go ahead. You've got screen share.
So, Brandon, there's two ways. There's multiple ways actually, but the two most common ways to define atheism. One is called propositionally. Okay, and propositionally means in terms of theism. Okay, theism is true, then you're a theist, right? If God exists, you're a theist.
Yes, basic propositional logic.
Basic propositional logic. So an atheist that rejects that, that's how it's defined to be a person who rejects theism. Okay.
Okay.
Now, there's
Is that
another
all
way.
they are? A person that rejects theism. Is that all they are?
Let me finish, please.
Is that all they are?
Let me finish, please.
Because that's not what you said yesterday.
If I can't finish, then why bother with this?
Well, I'm just asking you to clarify because you said
It
something
depends on
else.
your type of atheism. That is a philosophical atheism, which I just said.
Yeah, you're telling us two entirely different things. One thing in your post last night, and one thing.
No, I'm not. I've been extremely consistent, and even Brendan can tell you that I've been extremely consistent. You're not understanding.
Not at all. Go ahead.
Okay.
Explain to us how atheism does not say God does not exist.
Okay. That first of all, you're asking a different question. I'd like to finish my first thing first. The other way to define it, other than propositionally, is in a psychological state. Okay, and what that means is that if I hold a psychological state that God does not exist, that also would qualify as what's called a hard atheist. Another way to do it would be an ontological state, which would be.
All right, why are you bringing all this up when you
because
think
these are different ways to define atheism, and this is going to be critical to what you're talking about.
You already told me you thought that was ridiculous. So why are you even bringing it up?
You clearly misunderstand what I'm saying.
No, you said that was a ridiculous position.
No, this is perfectly fine. This is how it's done, dude.
You told me specifically I was right, and that is.
No, I did not. I said you were 80% right and 20% wrong. This is the 20% you keep getting wrong.
No,
did I not tell you that?
It was correct. Now you also said that these.
I told you that though. You're 80% right on this, and you're 20% wrong.
Now, did you not tell me yesterday that agnostic atheist, for instance, is a ridiculous term?
As a soft atheist, as a hard atheist, it's fine. It's just redundant.
And you don't believe in soft atheism or hard atheism, you said.
Well, what do you mean I don't believe in them? They do exist.
You don't prescribe to that position.
I am not a soft or hard atheist, no.
You are simply
agnostic.
You simply believe that atheists exist, agnostics exist, and theists exist. Do they not?
As well as
varying definitions.
Yeah, by varying definitions. There's also a lot of other categories.
But everybody falls under one of those three.
No, they do not.
Well, sure they do.
Well, then you're absolutely wrong.
When you're asking the question, does God exist?
Where does the theological? How does a theological non-cog fall into agnosticism when they don't even evaluate or not
When
evaluate?
the question is, does God exist? And your answer is yes, no, or I take neither position.
But you're trying to do an umbrella term, and that doesn't work that way.
No,
a theological non-cog.
That's the question you got to answer. So, which are you going to choose as an atheist?
Sure, an atheist. Well, again, depends on what definition.
You want us to rephrase this so that you don't have to answer the hard questions.
I love the hard questions. The problem is you're not understanding the hard answers.
You don't have to be.
That's the problem.
So
These
you
are
don't
hard
have to
answers that you're not getting, Eric. You don't understand these answers. That's the problem.
Sure, I do.
The questions are not that hard.
You want us to rephrase this so that it asks a completely different question.
Do you understand?
So that we don't compare atheism to agnosticism and to theism,
right, but this is
which is the most illogical viewpoint.
This is the problem I have with
now. Okay, so if you want to just say, if you just want to try to talk over the people's head that might be listening in here and bullshit your way through this,
which is exactly what you're doing right now,
instead of answering questions that are very
exactly
simple,
what you're doing
with simple answers. Okay,
all right, I will keep it simple. Okay, Brandon, just FYI, everything from this point, I'm talking to a 10-year-old, okay, or 5-year-old. I'm just going to keep it simple as can be because he's not understanding.
Oh, before you do that, though, I have a question.
Listeners?
I have a question for Eric. I'm just.
Are you insulting the listeners?
Where
You have
exactly?
2 people watching, me and Barney.
What's that?
You have 2 people watching. And I know Ed Barney is one of my friends. So, yeah. And then one's me.
Right. I have a question for Eric. Where on the spectrum, if you were going to use only atheism, theism, and agnosticism, where do you put pantheism at?
Yep, that's a good question too.
Well, pantheism would fall under somebody that believes in a god.
No, they don't.
Of
No,
course
they believe that. No, they don't.
No, they
Of
don't.
course they do.
No,
They
they
equate
do
God
not.
with the universe. They believe
Of
that.
course they do.
You don't know what pantheism is, then. do you?
Yeah, they
No.
believe everything is God.
But
And
that,
God
but
is
you
in
know what
everything.
Spinoza's God is, or the God of philosophers, is not a metaphysical God. It's like saying, I believe the sun is my God. That's not a metaphysical God. That doesn't make it a deity.
Wiccans can be pantheists.
Sure.
They certainly believe in a god.
But that's not his question to you, is it?
What? He just asked pantheists. Yes, that was his question.
Pantheists are considered mostly to be atheist. However, you can have theistic pantheists.
Oh yeah, pantheists, somebody that believes in gods, are atheists.
You want to go look? You want to go look at Wikipedia? Under non-theism, it has pantheism.
That's okay. That's okay.
No. Since you're showing things, since you wouldn't show my Stanford encyclopedia to your audience yet, how about we go to Wikipedia?
So here's what we're doing. We're talking about something that you agreed with me on yesterday. You said I'm right in all of this. And
you
now
were
you're
80% right. And
trying to rephrase the question.
No, sir.
The question is,
the 20% you got wrong.
the three classical beliefs of the three classical belief systems. What is the answer to the question of does God exist, and which is the most illogical? Is
Can you read that on the
atheism
side there?
illogical?
Since you won't show my evidence, right? Or will you? Here, show. There's a link.
I told you that you have screen share.
Can I
on this too.
can I screen share?
Okay. The point is, you're trying to mix everything up, and you don't want to answer the question.
Oh, I love
Here's the
answering
thing,
questions.
You
The way
haven't
that I
answered
look
the
at this,
question yet.
whenever I'm
And when
looking
you
at this,
finally do, when I finally get you in a
Because-
corner, you say, yes, you're right.
Well, you're not right. That's just
The
what I'm
atheist
saying, you're not
position
right.
claims that there
Okay,
is no
so
God.
can you see this?
How can they logically make that claim?
you can if Eric shuts up.
Bro, yeah, no shit. All right, do you see this? This is not
Okay,
theism.
Brendan, you're about to go.
If you kick him, I leave too.
Brendan,
I'm not playing
you're
this
about to
monitor.
mute.
And Brendan,
Okay.
if you leave, I'll
Don't
start another
like
hangout on
this.
my channel, which has hundreds of people watching.
All right, now,
This.
here's the question. When you take,
I don't want your question. I want to explain this, Derek.
well, that's the question
Because
we're
you keep going
talking
down
about.
rabbit holes.
Which is the most illogical? How
Okay.
is it logical to make a claim that you cannot possibly back up? How is it logical to take the claim there is no God when you have absolutely no way to defend that, no way to prove it?
Well, first of all, again, atheism is not making a knowledge claim, just like theism is not making a knowledge claim.
Well, you disagreed with that yesterday.
Well, no, I
Again,
did not. I've never made. You know what? Get
yesterday,
in here.
let me
You've known
read
me for a
you
long time now.
quotes.
I've never said that atheism is making a knowledge claim. That's absurd. Now, will you let your people like
You
people,
said Eric and I don't agree on much, but on this much I happen to agree with them, as well as most
That-
atheists that I do know as well. That
you can
atheism
read that out a
is
million
not
times because you're
just
not understanding it.
Atheism is not just, quote, a lack of belief.
I've already explained why it's not just a lack of belief, because there's philosophical atheism
Let
out
me
there.
be succinct, I guess. Atheism is atheism in academics or philosophy is a belief that God does
Belief.
not.
There you go. Belief. Exactly.
There you go.
Now you go. Yay.
Okay, so you're making a claim God does not exist.
A belief claim.
That's right. Just like a theist.
Just like
makes-
theism is. Theism is a belief
Okay,
God.
and you're
right?
always asking us for proof.
No, hang on. Let's finish one thing at a time here.
You're
Let me-
always
let
asking
me-
us for proof.
Eric,
You
let
don't
me
want to
fi-
be held
Eric,
responsible to
listen to me
give that.
carefully.
That's
Eric,
why you're
listen-
trying to choose this position.
Eric, listen to
I
me.
just busted you, dude.
Eric, listen to me
You're
very
trying to say that atheism is simply a lack of belief in God now.
No,
when
I'm
you
not.
hold-
That's Brandon's position, not mine. Don't
when
get
you
us
hold the
confused.
exact opposite position. Atheism is not just a lack of belief.
It can be a lack of belief. You're not
Atheism
understanding this. Look it. I've explained this
It's
to
a
you many
belief
times.
that God does
Oh my
not.
God.
Oh, this is sickening. He just keeps interrupting, doesn't he? Oh, well.
Brendan, do you really want to go somewhere else? Because he's not going to let us talk. All he does
That
is
sounds like a
interrupt.
plan, actually.
Right.
He doesn't like letting anybody speak. Yeah, I'm going to move on to another video that I'll put a link to that. Oh, is that the same one? Oh, yes, it is. This one here. I'll get rid of those two tabs. Been meaning to get rid of. I was only having a quick look round. I think I've uploaded a couple of these. They're not public yet.
We talk to.
Because, I mean, I'll tell you why. One of the reasons. This isn't out of vindictiveness. But Eric has lied about me. That's one way of definitely getting me, ruffling me feathers, right? I haven't tried to keep any arguments, upsets, or whatever going. And I'm referring to Bim. Bim, he is the one actually who usually starts. He has been for the last 4 or 5 years, right? Arguments, saying people aren't saved and all this sort of stuff. And he, you know, apologies, reconciliation. Oh, you know, there's been forgiveness and repentance, and I love this, that, and the other, and we need to do this, and we need to do that, and blah, blah. Yeah. Don't include me in anything you want to do, Ben. I don't hate you. But anyway, the point is, Eric's accused me of trying to, like, throw wood on the fire. I haven't been throwing any wood on the fire. I don't need to. I don't need to throw it on. Do you know who will assist with that? Bim. Holy Bim. He will assist with throwing wood on the fire because he just does not stop. And I'm just wondering what the next episode's going to be. Bim. Let's have a listen to this one.
About, I saw you post in a group where you had claimed that Neanderthals were a race of modern humans. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Well, let's go here too.
Now, I needed to ask something just to verify this. Like, were we going to do like 2 5-minute rounds?
Well, I don't know how long mine is going to take. I put a few.
See, I'll just read the info box under here. Eric Betten Gill has been challenging atheists to debate, but he demands he must go last. I saw him make the outrageous statement, Neanderthals are just a race of modern humans, in a Facebook group, so I challenged him. He was unable to define blah blah. He used the same script he uses on every debate. Barely even addressed the topic. Refused to post the topic in the title or description on the version he uploaded to YouTube. And amazingly, he's deleting negative comments there. Why doesn't that surprise me? I'll put a link to this one. I don't really want to listen to much more. I'm just trying to get it all in one video, really. I think I can find those videos again. I've got the link posted there. I can go and get it. They're unlikely to delete the video. And if I need to come back to it, I'll just come back to this channel and get the links off the side chat. Let's have a look at this one. I've had enough of that one. I don't know if this is... Now this is a statement I read on here. Eric Jail, retired military intelligence. Yeah, right. Military intelligence. Oh, hold on. A retired pastor. He's no pastor. Yeah. Military intelligence. No thanks. I don't accept that at all. No. I can't believe that he actually believes it. He sounds like Walter Mitty. Let's play this bit of trash. Some of these are from 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Why should I reject the teaching of the Torah and the Quran that, quote, forgiveness is always available to those who repent, and repentance atones for all sin, and instead should accept / need Jesus to die for me?
Okay, that's a fair question. Let me just say this. There's a lot of things about God that I admittedly don't know. There's a lot of things about God that I can't be dogmatic in because God is not dogmatic. And quite frankly, God does say some things that leaves me wondering about several things. For instance, take, for instance, somebody in the Congo that never heard the name of Christ. But let's say that the Holy Spirit moves on that person, and that person.
Yeah, that's not particularly interesting, that one, to be honest. Oh, what's this one? Oh, it's that one.
Person recognizes.
I'm slowly getting rid of my tabs anyway. Early, bit in jail, busted and exposed. Let's see what this is. Bill Ludlow. All right, well, bit in jail. Eric, apparently, Ironheart finishes Bill Ludlow. The real Bill, debate 2, a fantasy debate he had with some personal messages we exchanged. He came at me on Facebook with multiple profiles demanding a rematch. Then he started promoting an edited version of the debate that made it appear I was saying something I did not say. I believe the guy is dishonest, unbalanced, and possibly mentally ill. This is my final word on the debate, and I would discourage anyone else from engaging him. Steve McRae, I just played one. I'll put a link to this one. I don't know how long this one is. It's only 20 minutes. Have I heard this one? I don't know. I'll put a link in the side chat there for my benefit later. Nobody's coming in. That's okay. Suits me. I mean, if somebody wants to come in, you can. Well, Bitten finishes Bill Ludlow, the real Bill, debate 2. Oh. I wonder how this is going to go.
I hesitate to even make this video, but this wolf-bitten guy who I debated last week didn't even put the topic of our debate in the title or the description.
Where have I heard that before or read that? Oh, well, okay. Bill Ludlow.
When he uploaded the video. And then to top it off, he took some personal messages that we exchanged and left out a lot of information, pretended it was a debate, and then added his own commentary.
Yeah, he did similar, not exactly. I'm not going to lie about the guy. He had a debate with T-Jump, which cost him $75. I know that for a fact. I've got the email from T-Jump. He charges $75 an hour. And then he started doing some coping streams on T-Jump and his so-called debate with him, coming away thinking he'd won. I did listen to it. I thought, what a pile of trash, really.
So, to make matters even worse, we had originally agreed that neither one of us would allow anyone to upload or publish any kind of edited version of the debate. It must be played in its entirety. And then a friend of his did exactly that, leaving out, again, very important information. And what did he do? He endorsed it and shared it. So I'm going to give my version of exactly why Wolf-Bitten lost our debate. I saw you post in a group where you had claimed that Neanderthals were a race of modern humans. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
A 2017 article called Why Race is Not a Thing According to Genetics, published in National Geographic magazine, can help us understand exactly why Wolf-Bitten is wrong here. It's mainly focuses on a book by geneticist Adam Rutherford called A Brief History of Everyone Who Ever Lived. To quote the article, in many ways, genetics makes a mockery of race. The characteristics of normal human variation we use to determine broad social categories of race, such as black, Asian, or white, are mostly things like skin color, morphological features, or hair texture, and those are all biologically encoded. But when we look at the full genomes from people all over the world, those differences represent a tiny fraction of the differences between people. There is, for instance, more genetic diversity within Africa than in the rest of the world put together. If you take someone from Ethiopia and someone from Sudan, they're more likely to be more genetically different from each other than either one of those people is to anyone else on the planet. The article goes on to say that Denisovans, Neanderthals, and Homo sapiens are clearly different species. To quote it, it got even crazier a year later when the tip of a little finger bone and the molar tooth of a teenage girl were found in a cave in Russia in a place called Denisova. That proved enough to get the full genome out of this creature, which turned out not to be Homo sapiens, not Homo neanderthalensis, and not anything we were aware of. We call these people the Denisovans or Denisovans. They're a human species, but are not us, not Neanderthals, and not one that was previously known. We saw that we interbred with the Denisovans, and they interbred with us. The further you go east today, the more Denisovan DNA you see living in people, and the less Neanderthal, which is exactly what I was explaining during my presentation in our debate. Here's another glaring error that Wolf-Bitten made.
The problem is you don't have a drop of DNA to prove this.
This is the oldest DNA we have from Neanderthals. Some dispute whether it's Neanderthals or whether it's actually Homo heidelbergensis, because it was right at that transition phase with them. We'll get into that in just a minute. How and when did we diverge? You can see the kind of our family tree here with Homo erectus back here. We've got Homo heidelbergensis right here in between. We're on the bottom here. This is modern humans, Homo sapiens here. The Sema hominins we just talked about are right here near the Denisovan Neanderthal split. And again, 430,000 years ago. What we see in comparing the Denisovan genome, because we have that one too, it dates about 60 to 80,000 years old. We have that from some teeth that were found in Asia there.
Well, I would have thought you'd need a bit more than teeth, like bone marrow, bones. Maybe not marrow, but I don't know, you'd need a bit more than teeth, surely. I would have thought.
We can compare that genome with the Neanderthal genome and with modern Homo sapiens, and we can see that there was interbreeding going on at different times.
Now, you have a great hypothesis there, okay? The only problem is it's untestable. You just simply cannot test it. And so you don't even have a workable scientific theory. If it's untestable, you just simply cannot call it a theory. What you're going to have in order to test your hypothesis is the actual DNA from these alleged ancestors.
The Neanderthal genome completed in 2010 shows that modern non-Africans have between 1% and 4% Neanderthal DNA. This is where Wolfbitten tries to say that I claimed they were our direct ancestors. I never once claimed Neanderthals were our direct ancestor. I clearly showed they were on a separate branch, but some interbreeding occurred. Here's a little bit different look at the split and where the interbreeding occurred. Over here on the left, again, we have our common ancestor, which would have been Homo heidelbergensis. We have the Neanderthals on the top, and where they actually died out here. Homo sapiens going in a different direction, where if you look at the very bottom, we have the San Bushmen. We have other South African tribes where we don't see any Neanderthal. What we see is the Neanderthal interbreeding took place in here, and we see that going onwards to Asia and into Europe.
You don't have the DNA from any of these. And you can't prove that any of them are related to anything.
It was like talking to a wall. I brought up 4 completed genomes from 3, possibly 4 different species that were dated to different time intervals, and they showed exactly how and when we diverged.
You also brought up the dogs, okay? That's another place where I believe evolution is fraudulent.
He brought up dogs. I brought up coyotes and wolves. Let's look at exactly what I did say. Same thing with coyotes and wolves. I think everybody agreed that they're different species. Sure, they're both, you know, canines or whatever, but they are different species. But just the same way, we can see that they can at times produce fertile offspring, especially when they're breeding back with one of the parent species.
Because you see, we do have dogs and wolves in the same species, and we have coyotes in a separate species, and yet they are able to actually reproduce fertile offspring.
For a moment there, I thought he got that. He even went on to make another video since our debate where he said the same thing.
Say hello to everybody, Tracy. Hey, everybody. Well, it's good having you on. And tonight we're going to do a little something. Tracy, you saw our debate with Bill Ludlow, and several of the people out here saw it. Between his channel, Steve's channel, my channel, and another one, there were thousands and thousands of views. So that's really cool.
Exaggerate much there, dude? As of 1/14, it had 1,100 views on my channel with the finished video, 319 views where it was live, okay? 337 views on your channel, but it did have 1,129 views for the after show on Steve's channel.
The fact is, like, you've got coyotes in one species, you've got dogs and wolves in another species, and yet they can all 3 interbreed and produce fertile offspring.
See, there it is. He agrees with me again. Then he goes on to lie about what actually happened before the debate.
In order to get the first debate a while back, I had to actually chase him around because he and Steve were running around talking about I wouldn't debate them. And just the opposite was true. I'd been challenging them to go live streaming with me. And then they said, well, you won't leave the safety of your place, so come to our place. And they expected me to turn it down, but I accepted. And then they backed out.
What actually happened was I accepted his terms to debate. Then I offered to let him go first. He initially accepted that. Then he freaked out and would not debate unless I went first and he had the last word. It's still there in the Creationism Facebook group. No one's deleted it. You can still see it to this day.
He went through a presentation claiming that we had all of these ancestors, like Homo habilis, Homo ergaster, Homo erectus, etc. He gave kind of a history of the evolution of mankind according to evolutionists.
I didn't give a brief history of mankind. I didn't talk about Homo habilis. I started with Neanderthals, and I stuck with them, except for to mention the previous species, Homo heidelbergensis, and other species that were alive at the same time.
In order for you to test your theory, you have to check the actual DNA of these creatures to see if they are in fact related to us. And you can't, because we've never extracted the DNA of an ergaster or a habilis or an erectus. We've never extracted the DNA from these guys.
Well, this is obviously wrong, since no one had ever heard of DNA when Darwin came up with his theory. To test a theory or a hypothesis, we can use its predictive value. To test a hypothesis about the change of kind or species from earlier species to ape to modern human, we can predict that we would find evidence in the fossil record for such a transitional change. We would predict the recent layers would contain modern humans, but at some point, anatomically modern humans would cease to exist in the fossil record, and we would see only evidence of species with both primitive and derived traits, transitional species, becoming more primitive as the fossils get older, ending up with only the early apes in the oldest layers. And that's exactly what we find. We never see the primitive earlier forms in the same layers with the modern humans.
And that is the definition of species. If you can produce fertile offspring, if you can reproduce and produce fertile offspring, you are in fact a species. So now the thing is, you see, we've got the DNA of the Denisovan, we've got the DNA of the Neanderthal, and what do they prove? The DNA of both prove that we are.
Put the link in there. You can go and watch that. See what's going on here. Oh, Mary Schweitzer, sick of creationist misunderstanding and misappropriating her research for their arguments. Oh. There's a lot of comments there. Is that channel still going? He's probably deleted it. Oh no, it's still there. Somber reference. Yeah. Oh well, there you go. There's all this T-jump. Old school in T-jump, yeah. All right. How long goes this one? Yeah, I'll never come to any Bible studies. You think that the Septuagint corrects the King James, don't you? Oh, let's see what goes on here.
No. What is the falsification process you went through to falsify whether or not Titulix or evolved from fish? What was
it's pronounced Tiktaalik.
What was the falsification process?
Okay, so what we do is we look at what we have.
Look at it. Okay, we understand how you develop your hypothesis. You look at it and you say, geez, it looks like this and it looks like this. So let's put them in between these two organisms on a phylogenetic tree because they obviously related. Now I'm asking you, okay, you have your hypothesis based on morphology. What is the falsification process? DNA is the only way to actually prove whether or not one thing is related to another, or whether or not one thing evolved from another. If you go to a court of law, the judge is going to hear a woman say, look, my baby's short, fat, got little short arms, and so does this dude. So he's obvious.
Oh, is Eric Old Earth creationist? Oh, okay.
Obviously, the father, I want child support. The judge is going to say, no, I need the DNA. So what we need tonight is the DNA. Where's the DNA? Do you have the DNA to prove that the tiktaalik is the offspring of a fish?
We don't need it.
Oh, you don't need it. So you don't need.
You say there's no sound? Erica? Erica? Sure, there is sound because I can hear it clear as a bell. I'll only do it again. I'll just go through the whole lot because all the links are in the side chat. Yeah, well.
Need to put your idea through a falsification process. That's fine.
That's not
That's not science.
Eric.
Okay, so Darwin, you mentioned Darwin's friendship.
Oh my! I mean, every time I see him in one of these debates, I mean, he had it with T. Jump like a couple of weeks ago. It's like he wants to do all the talking. Old Earth creationist, OEC, he says there. Well, it's up to him.
As an example of evolution.
We're just going to jump. Okay, it's documented in 2018, correct?
Okay, you what?
As documented in 2018, that paper released in 2018, rapid hybrid speciation.
What are you talking about?
It was documented in 2018. Rapid hybrid speciation within 3 generations was documented in Nature. That paper
Okay,
was
and what did
published
they
in
what did they evolve into?
Eric, I'm sorry, but if you keep not letting him answer,
I'm asking you what they evolved into.
And I'm the moderator, so please at least let me speak. If the over talking keeps happening, I'm gonna have to ask Craig to mute you. While
it's pretty hard to do when I'm cross-examining him and he wants to take us on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, you ask. Oh, why does anybody even bother having a debate with him? Oh, hello, Francis. How are you? Oh, Habebo in the USA. Is that Paul, is it? Hello. Yeah, it's okay, Chris, don't worry. I mean, we get these glitches. I've had a few today, actually. Fades in and out. Yeah, well, I don't know. All right, yeah. The dude saved us. Yeah, I saw you in Dave's this morning. Yeah.
Just a few words in.
And I'm wasting my time arguing this with you. So I'd like for you to name a transitional fossil, any transitional fossil.
Tiktaalik was a transitional form.
Okay, and you have no way of proving that it evolved from that fish. You have no way to falsify that hypothesis.
We do know that. There are several.
You know that because you assert it. You have no way to test it.
Let him speak.
You have no DNA from that. Okay,
I explained how we don't need DNA.
You explained how you don't need to put through the falsification.
Okay,
Eric,
Craig, please, everybody, and let me say a few words. Okay, the question was how he's demonstrating that that this transition happened. So, JL, please answer the question. take 30 seconds to a minute.
Pardon me, but that was not the question.
Eric will be muted for this answer.
Pardon me, but that's not the question.
Okay, reiterate your question, and then
why are you soft pedaling this?
I'm asking you to give the same courtesy that JL gave you to give him time to answer the questions. So reiterate the question that you wanted to ask, and then we'll give JL time to answer.
Yep.
So how much of my time have we eaten up so far in arguing back and forth?
We eating up. You're eating it all up. You just can't. I mean, this is something. You just don't know how to stop speaking over people. Wow.
On whether or not I can ask these questions.
The problem was not that that you were not given.
He's not answering the questions I asked. That's the problem.
Ask the question, please, and then we'll give him time to answer.
Okay. Well, I've already proven the point that none of these things gone through a falsification process, nor does he think that theories have to go through a falsification process.
That was not a question.
Okay. Why is it that we run several radiometric tests on any given artifact?
All right, JL answer, and Eric will be muted for at least 30 seconds.
In order to understand its relative age.
Okay.
It depends upon what we're testing, If we're testing, like, there's different, it specifically depends upon what we're testing. We can use carbon-14 for some. We can use potassium argon for others. For things that are extremely old, but for things that are extremely
You're not
old,
understanding the question.
But for things that are extremely old, we have to use better, more accurate terms of dating, which one of the best ones are uranium lead dating. And there are 3 different uranium isotopes, and all of them decay into lead. And so we know this. So when we found zircon crystals, and we understand how zircon works during formation, then we can take that information, and then we had it here on Earth. But luckily, what was one of the benefits of the Apollo landings was that the samples that they brought back also contained zircon crystals. So we can run those exact same tests, but the benefit of this is that the moon is tectonically inactive, and because the moon is tectonically inactive, then the surface rocks that are on the moon are the rocks that have always been there since the formation of the moon. And so we know we're not getting rocks from down deep. So we can look at these and we can check out the formation of these crystalline structures. And we know that zircon repels lead and attracts uranium atoms. So any lead that is within the zircon crystal is from the decay of that uranium. And then we just measure the half-life. And because we know the half-life of the 3 different uranium isotopes, thanks to the work.
I knew this was going to be a one-sided thing because, every one of you guys are part of the group called Nemesis that mass reported me for saying things like Jeff disappeared.
I'm not a part of any group called Nemesis. But anyway, to finish that up, we use those known half-lives, okay, to create a chart as to how we can end up. It depends upon which lead you're using, but the lead we use for the Earth is specifically uranium-238 to lead-207 radiometric dating, and that decay rate.
I'm obviously not going to be able to cross-examine for my 10 minutes.
4.5 billion years. So
I'm obvious, and I don't even get to tell him to answer the question I asked, not answer the question he wants me to ask. So here's the question I was asking. Many times we test the same artifact with.
Ask your question. Why the preamble? That's so nauseating. I hate that. I've seen this before loads of times on YouTube, and big preamble leading up to a question. Just ask the question. Why do you need to prime the question before you ask it?
Several different methods of testing. Why? Like, for instance, uranium lead or potassium argon, etc., etc., etc.
We radiometric date things to find out their age. But
and why do we use several different dating methods to do that on one particular item?
Because different dating methods work differently on different things. You can't
Because different dating methods give you different dates, and you actually date shop using radiometric dating. You date shop. Now, let me ask you something. Why would you assume that something is going to be 1,000,000 years old before you even test it?
We don't assume that.
Of course you do. You have to assume before you use uranium lead that the rock you're testing is 1,000,000 years old or older. You have to assume.
No,
You
we
also have to
conclude. No, Eric, we conclude.
No, you have to assume it.
Eric,
You also have to assume.
Hey, man. I mean, this is making me a little bit sick, really. I'll share this tab instead. See, Eric, this is why I just don't want to talk to you. Apart from the fact that you lied about me. I don't like that. I haven't tried to throw the wood on any fire with him. Right? Not once. I never needed to. And you accused me of trying to keep it going. There's Ben. And it's not true. I never needed to, because you can always rely on him to get it all fired up again. And he will do again. I'll put a link to this one in the side chat. Yeah. Yeah, he's zealous to get the point across. But you don't do it by talking over people, do you? Or do you? I don't know.
Okay, granted. Why the hell would it have to be? What is that supposed to prove?
Oh, this is another. I've already got there. I've had a look at that one. That was nauseating. Oh, here's another one. Oh, Eric and Gavin. Is that Gavin Hurleyman? Is it Gavin? Could be.
Are in agreement.
The word of God is pure, and you're saying it's not. You're a fraud.
No, I've said the word of God is pure.
Anti-God. You're anti-God's word.
So you can change God's word and make it more pure.
No, it was never changed.
That's what you're just saying. Of course it was changed.
No, the words of God are pure.
Of course it was changed. You're saying you can change.
Yeah, this is nauseating as well. I'm sick of hearing his voice, really. That's it, really, on that one. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah. I'll stop sharing. I think you're being very polite there, really. Eric is very zealous to get his point across. I looked at about 5 or 6 different debates there, so-called, and he just talks over everybody. He's ex-military intelligence. What a load of poop. What an absolute pile of tosh. I wonder if Tesco is open today. It is Sunday, but they should still be open. Oh, it's closed. Tesco Express closed. Let's have a look at Revo. Wow, that's closed as well. They're all closed. Oh no. The post office will be closed on a Sunday. It should still be open. Because it's a post office inside a shop. I'd love to have some fish and chips. I might get some tomorrow. Oh, that's still open. I might go down there later. Oh well. Are you coming in, Paul? The link's there. If you don't want to, that's fine. Now then, what else am I going to look at? You still there, Paul? Or are you gone? Well, Eric does think that the Septuagint corrects the King James Bible, basically. Sure, it was him, yeah.
Eric, who do you serve?
Taylor, could you pull up two things for me?
Just
you got a screen. Put it in the private chat.
Like,
put it in the private chat.
He can answer this, and I'll do what he's asking me to, or you cannot answer it, and I'll just cut it short for the night because I'm going to see you next Saturday anyway.
Oh, hang out. Don't leave yet.
I'm not hanging out, dude. I've got kids. I've got other shit I want to do.
Yeah, that's convenient.
He's preacher man. You got coming Saturday.
I don't run from anybody. I'm not running
the
from
earth
nothing.
is flat.
I'm asking you an honest question. If you can't answer that for me, then I'm not doing what you asked.
I don't care what you deal with at this point.
When you sin, who do you serve when you sin?
Taylor, there's one right there. Deuteronomy 32:8. That's from the King James.
Error. You know who you get along with good? You get along with Ryan Apologetics. You guys both think the Bible's full of errors.
Well, I don't. That's not what I said.
Hey, Ryan Apologetics in the audience right now. Hey, you're more than welcome to join the stream.
And look, he's sitting there too. Look, him,
Yeah,
Troy.
Ryan, you're more than welcome to come up.
They're all the same.
They get
Taylor,
along
how
with
do you not
Eric.
see this, dude? I know you
I already
see
invited
it.
you. I went on Ryan Apologetics the other night, and I told him he's more than welcome on my stream.
Ryan Apologetics is a fucking joke.
Ryan Apologetics here in the.
The first one,
audience.
Deuteronomy
I went on his
38
shit
from
the other
King James
night.
Version.
Who do you serve when you sin, Eric?
Nah.
Answer the question.
I'm talking to Taylor right now, so bear with me.
Okay, well,
Taylor,
I'm gonna leave then. I'm gonna leave. You guys enjoy your night.
Well,
you guys enjoy your night.
don't run off now. Don't run off now. I'm fixing to put this in front of your face, son.
Preacher man, put that verse up. Preacher man, put the verse up.
Don't be intimidated, preacher.
Who do you serve when you sin? I'm not intimidated.
Don't be intimidated.
Nobody's intimidated by you, Eric. Not that I know of.
Taylor, I've got a link there for the Septuagint.
Yeah.
Okay.
First, hey, put preacher man, put up Deuteronomy 32:8 real quick.
Why the Septuagint?
No. Let's put up the Septuagint. Let's go to the original. I'm
No,
all
but you got the Bible in the chat right now. It's
right. I'm
put
gonna
put
swap
the
it out.
Deuteronomy up. Put Deuteronomy
here.
32:8 up.
Deuteronomy 32:8. There it is. When the Most High divided the nations, he separated the sons of Adam. He set the bounds of the nations according to the number of the angels of God.
Now that's not the King James version.
Yeah, King
Okay,
James.
and?
That's the Septuagint. Now
And?
pull up the King James.
Deuteronomy. Now, where does the
Now
Septuagint-
God separated the nations according to the number of the children of God, the angels of God, the Benaha Elohim.
Well, children of God. Anybody that believes in Jesus is a child of God, right? He said
In
you
the
gotta be
Old
considered to be
Testament,
an
the Benaha Elohim in the Old Testament always refers to the angels.
The 144,000 are the children of God.
Just it always refers to angels as the children of God. You'll see the other translation calls it angels of God.
It does do that too. I will agree to that. It does do that.
Well,
too.
you have to agree because it's the truth.
You also have to agree that it also refers to believers as children.
Only in the New Testament.
I beg to differ.
Well, prove
Because
it.
in Deuteronomy, I can prove it. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 39.
What?
That he gave the land unto the children that had no knowledge of good and evil.
It doesn't say the Benaha Elohim.
That doesn't mean shit to
Yes,
me.
well, I know it means nothing to you because you
Children
don't know
of God
nothing
is
about it.
Children of God.
Benaha Elohim always refers to the sons of
Well,
God.
what's that got to do with the price of rice in China?
Job chapter
Yeah, but
1.
you still sin, you're still of the devil. Hang on. So we're in the Septuagint. I've got the Septuagint shared. Yeah. So let's see what the
Septuagint 32:8.
No.
Now King James 32:8. What does the King James say?
Where is Saul?
Can you read it? Can you show it and read it? Preacher?
We got it up on the screen. Yeah, folks, me and Puka will be on Eric's show tomorrow.
That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to having you guys on, man.
Yeah, and then Preacher Man and Eric will be back next Saturday. Talk about the earth and the shape. Because me and Preacher Man have been working a lot. He's got views on eschatology. He's got views on like flat earth. He's got views. He got more views than just a sinless antinomian, right? He's definitely got more views. He's just not. You don't give the preacher the credit he deserves. Like, he has more views on scripture than people would like to think.
Well, that's cool, but I just want him to pull up to Deuteronomy 32:8 in the King James. I don't know what he's doing, why he's avoiding it.
No, he's pulling it up. Preacher's got the control of the Bible in the room right now.
Yeah.
He's already got a Bible up.
So where is Deuteronomy 32:8 in the King James? Where is Deuteronomy 32:8?
Preacher, you're muted. Ryan's here. And Preacher, you're muted. I can't hear you. Where'd your Bible go?
Taylor, I'll pull it up since
I got it. It's already here. I had to switch screens.
Hold on. There goes his Bible right there.
When the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Exactly. Sons of God.
So you believe that?
Yeah.
You believe that's true?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Now you agree with me that this is talking about when God separated the nations of the Tower of Babel, right?
I believe it's true. I trust the
Hold
Bible.
on.
I trust both.
Are you? Do you agree that this is referring to the time God separated the nations at the Tower of Babel, where he divided the nations, divided the languages?
Now you're moving the goalpost.
That's not moving the goalpost, son.
Israel.
All right, tell me is there two times that God divided the nations?
I'm not dumb. I'm far from it.
Are there 2 times that God divided the nations according to their inheritance when he separated the sons of Adam? Are there 2 times? We're told of 1 time. That was at the Tower of Babel. So,
Up here perving on the internet,
Oh.
right? It's the reason why he don't.
Oh, it was Gavin. How long ago was this? Oh, October last year. I didn't know that. All right. Oh. Gavin and military intelligence. How ridiculous. Let's have a listen.
I attack atheism. I have to tell you what atheism is, man. You don't even know what atheism is. You're a joke.
I don't care, sir. You're just lying.
The atheist is opposed to that, and that's a direct claim that there is no God. And the agnostic is in the middle. They don't make a claim either way. They say they don't know whether there is or is not a God.
So you're still not understanding the difference between a belief and knowledge.
No, I understand the difference.
You know the difference between belief and knowledge, right?
Yes.
So when I say I believe in something, I'm not necessarily saying I have knowledge of it. I'm totally sure.
You see, the agnostic and the atheist.
No, hold on, please.
The agnostic, and the atheist both, neither one believe in a God. But the atheist goes further and says there is no God.
I'm not arguing for that. So this is what the gentleman before did, okay? He argued his entire time against a straw man. I'm not interested in arguing straw men. I'm not interested in...
No, that's not straw man. That's the actual definition. If you look it up.
No, it's not. Because you obviously don't understand what a Gnostic claim is, what agnosticism is. You don't understand belief in knowledge claims. You don't understand that difference. So we can't go forward. We have to have a basic foundation of what a knowledge claim is and what a belief claim is. And then until we go past that, until we get on the same page of that, we can't go forward, sir. I'm sorry. They're 2 different things. Do you understand that?
No, I understand. You sound crazy, man. Okay, now
let me... You don't understand the difference between knowledge and beliefs. You don't
Taylor, I'm going to give you a link here, brother.
No, I don't care about your links. You're not understanding. I'm trying to have a conversation with you.
That's what I'm trying to do. But if you're going to start off not even understanding,
listen to me. Now you need to listen to me. I listen to you.
If you're gonna start off by not even understanding, claiming to be one thing and not even knowing the definition.
Okay, tell me.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Okay, tell me. Let's take this back. Let's reverse this back because we can't go forward. So tell me tell me the difference between a knowledge claim and a belief claim.
Taylor, I just put a link in your private chat.
What is the difference? What is the difference?
If you could pull that, up. If you could pull that up, Taylor.
Short message for Eric. There.
And go down to 8.1 definitions of atheism. I would appreciate it. Now, this comes from the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Stanford is one of the best philosophical schools in the world, as far as that's.
Yeah, but you couldn't go to that last time. You had to go to Google. He had to pester you to go into the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Poser. Crank.
Concerned. And if you'll scroll down, Taylor, a little bit further, you'll see definitions of atheism. Okay, right there is good. Now, I'm going to take this up in the first paragraph, and you're going to see that this isn't just the philosophical definition from Stanford, but it's the definition given by philosophy schools worldwide, and it's agreed to by the majority of the atheists that attend these philosophical schools or teach in these philosophical schools. And I'm going to go down to...
oh, God. Are you going to fucking keep going on?
Thus to be an atheist. Well, you know, if I'm going to debate an atheist and he doesn't even know what an atheist is, that's on you.
Fucking conversation.
So
I'm sorry. I'm not fucking doing this again.
So then this.
The conversation.
Well, I'm sorry if you want to lose the debate right off the bat, not even knowing what an atheist is. That's on you.
And I have no interest. Hey, I have no interest.
Thus, to be an atheist.
Hey, I have no interest in
when this
arguing your
it
definition.
does not suffice to suspend judgment on whether or not there is a God, even though that implies a lack of theistic belief. Instead, one must deny that God exists.
No, I don't.
The metaphysical sense of the word is preferred over other senses.
You know what? I can just say I don't know.
You're telling me.
I can just say I don't know.
That makes you an agnostic,
I
dude.
can just say I don't know.
That makes you an agnostic, not an
You can call it
atheist.
whatever you want. Okay,
No,
let's
no,
go for it. You know
that's
what?
what I'm. You know, that's like you calling yourself a woman.
Listen, I
You
really
know,
don't care.
Call
I'm not
yourself
telling
you can,
Hey,
you can call yourself a woman all you like, but it doesn't make you a woman. So you can call yourself an atheist. You can call yourself an atheist all you like.
This is why.
But you're not an atheist.
This is why Christianity is.
No, this is why
they have to
atheists are
attack
so.
straw men. They cannot engage honestly.
So you're taking it by blind faith right off the bat that you're an atheist.
I don't care, and it's irrelevant.
You're taking it by.
This is irrelevant, sir. This
So-
is irrelevant. And what
So
you're
this is
doing
how-
is you're
this
using
is
a
how-
straw
this
man.
is how your guest
No. You're using a
debates.
straw man to try to make.
He doesn't
your point.
even let a
Why don't
point
you ask
be
me?
finished.
Why don't you ask me?
Okay, I'm going to ask you
Ask
something.
me what I believe. Ask
How,
me what I
okay,
believe.
okay. How do you believe life began? What's the
I don't
origin
know.
of life?
I don't know.
You
Why
don't
do
know.
you think? Okay, now let me ask
You
a
don't know.
question. Hey,
So
hey,
you
hey,
don't know anything.
Let me ask you a question.
So
now.
you're agnostic
No,
on everything.
Let me ask you a question. now.
You're an atheist on nothing.
Let me ask you a question now. Why do you think
You're
I
taking it
should
by
know?
blind faith
Why
in
do
spite
you
of the
think-
definition that you're
why
even an
do you think-
atheist.
Hey, this is not how it works. You don't
Yes,
get
it
to
is.
control the whole conversation.
And
I'm
you don't
sorry.
either. You don't get to
I'm
change
sorry.
definitions
This is how
just
you wanna
like
engage.
somebody
This is
wants
what
to
you wanna
change
do,
the
and that's
definition of
fine.
a woman.
You don't want to answer honestly. You want to.
Let me ask you something. What is a
Chris,
woman?
This is all they can do.
What is a woman?
I've answered. You don't listen.
You haven't answered
You don't
nothing.
answer. You straw
What's a-
man. You're afraid to engage honestly. You're
I ain't afraid to engage you in anything, son.
You're afraid to
Define a
engage honestly
woman.
because your beliefs are not only a scam, but they're destructive. And
What's
you
my
don't
belief?
you don't want to examine your own beliefs because
What's my
biblical
belief?
faith is not only destructive, it's objectively wrong.
What's my
Your
belief?
Biblical faith is bullshit. And
So you
can
don't know
defend
what
it.
my
So
belief
you
is.
come here and you attack atheism like I own atheism.
I attack
You're
atheism.
pathetic.
I have to tell you what
You're
atheism is, man.
Pathetic.
You don't even know what atheism is. You're a
I
joke.
don't care. I don't care, sir. You're just lying. You did the same thing as the other guy did.
Okay,
You chose
okay,
to
so
want to attack the straw
so
man,
Taylor,
and
I'm
that's
going to
what you're
finish
doing.
reading since he doesn't even want to understand what an atheist is.
You're using
It
a
says
straw
so.
man to you
This
want to
metaph-
deflect from
Yes,
Christianity.
so
You want to
even though
Christianity? You're scared.
that implies a lack of theistic belief.
Don't attack Christianity. Don't attack my blood magic. Don't expose it for being the harmful ideology that is causing fascism to rise in North America.
So you have an absolute idiot on here, Taylor, that doesn't even want to listen to the definition.
Congratulations.
So he doesn't even.
You're part of a fucking
He's
cult.
afraid
What
to
you
let
wanna
this
do?
be read.
You're a fucking cult. You're in a
He's
cult.
afraid
Why do you
to let
think
this be
cult
led.
members need to be using faith?
Son, you
Why
fear
do
your
cult
own
members
shadow.
need to use faith? Is this what you want to do, or do you
The
want to have an honest
metaphysical
engagement?
sense of the word is
You wanna have an
preferred
honest
over the
engagement or not?
senses, over
have
other
an honest-
senses.
Gavin, I would like to
Therefore,
talk to you. I don't
the
care how-
psychological sense, not just
Gavin,
by theistic
Gavin, I would like
philosophies,
to
but
talk
by
to you.
many, though not all, atheists in philosophy as well.
Gavin,
For
I would like to talk
example,
to you. This guy
Robert
is obviously not
Lee
interested
Providence
in
writes,
engaging honestly.
an atheist here also writes, an atheist is one who denies the existence of a personal, transcendent creator of the universe,
I don't.
other than one who simply lives his life in reference to such a being.
Once again,
Schulenberg is another atheist that says, in philosophy, the atheist is not just someone who doesn't accept theism.
Wrong, lies, fucking lies. All you do is fucking lie.
Okay,
Fucking
so-
lie. Everyone at home can see you're fucking lying.
So
right
you know
now.
more
understand that people can
more
see you're
than these
fucking lying.
atheist professors
All
that
atheism
disagree
is
with
a
you.
disbelief, and your biblical faith is fucking bullshit.
No, that's an
And it's
agnostic.
horrendous.
That's an agnostic, dummy.
Biblical faith is horrendous, and it's destructive.
What's horrendous is somebody that wants to make a claim that they are.
You didn't even know what an agnostic was on a previous so-called debate, Eric. And you refused to go to the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. I showed that on a video, a debate that you was in earlier on this stream. Poser, ex-military intelligence. What a load of crap. Yeah, stupid humans. Yeah, we are. I don't know. I can't remember now. Eric's trying to call him a woman now. What's a woman? What's a woman? Oh, I put a link in. I mean, this is Gavin Hurleman is in there. Eric, Ethan Lionheart. Oh, John Spot and the Reverend Brother Heathen something or other. I put a link to that video in there, though. I mean, how long is it? 8 hours. It's 8 hours long. The preacher goes in there later. Eric is toxic in a discussion. I mean, he proved that with me. And Graham and Kevin. He cannot stop talking over people. And then later, earlier this week, I think, was it yesterday? The other day, lying about me. That was a mistake, Eric. And then he says, you need to come to my channel to apologise to me. And I proved this morning to myself anyway. I can prove it now. I'm not going to go to his channel again. But I'm blocked on there. So, like I'm bothered. Oh, there's the link. Look. Erica, how are you? Cheryl, thanks for coming. I'm surprised that Praise I Am didn't do a stream this morning or Saturday. But you know, it's a sort of weekend. Is it a bank holiday tomorrow? Erica, Cheryl? Let's listen to more of this trash.
Something they don't even know what it is.
You
So-
obviously don't know the difference between Gnosticism
Taylor, if
and
you
a
could put
belief.
this,
And a,
if
you
you could
don't.
put
I
this-
tried to engage with you. You don't want
Taylor,
to.
if you could put
I
this
tried to
link
engage with you.
in
Can you
the
answer simple questions?
comments
Can
of your show,
Can
so
you?
that your readers can understand what I'm
Can you
reading.
answer? Can you answer anything? Can you engage? Are you
No,
interested
what
in
do you want me to
engaging
answer?
honestly? Are you?
You
Yes
won't
or
even
no?
let me read, son.
Yes or no? Because you're not
You won't even
engaging
let me.
honestly.
You won't even let me read the definition from a philosophical encyclopedia. What's wrong with you? Are you that intimidated?
I'm not intimidated.
Well, you was intimidated by a couple of months ago, or maybe last year. The guy must have told you, because it was on your stream. Get the definition up in the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Agnosticism, atheism, the definitions. Definition for belief, ontological naturalism, theological non-cognitivism. But you wouldn't. You just had you went to your Google search thingy. What a knob!
You obviously are.
You're
You're also a
lying.
liar.
And
You're
you're
lying now because you say you're not intimidated. If
Fucking little man liar.
not
You can't even
well,
engage
there you go.
honestly.
There's the proof
You
right
can't
there.
even engage
You're an
honestly.
intimidated
You
little pansy.
fucking suck.
No, he's not intimidated. Eric, I don't like you at all, I've got to say. I don't hate you. I think you're Christian. You're just poison. You and Ben go well together. Here's Ben. Yeah, Eric and Ben go well together. Seriously. And you lied about me, didn't you, Eric? Wow. Amazing. And you keep calling that guy. I'm not sticking up for any atheist. Why would I? You keep trying to call him a woman. Nobody's intimidated by you. Kidding.
You're intimidated.
Suck.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Suck. Is this
You're
it?
intimidated.
Is this it? You fucking suck. You can't
Is
even
that all
engage
you got?
honestly. You can't even go back and forth. You're not able to.
So
Your
you
fucking
take it by
brain is
blind
broken.
faith that
Your
you're even an
fucking brain is
atheist.
broken. You
In
can't
spite
get
of
You can't communicate, Eric. You don't know how to. You don't know how to engage in a conversation.
carry on an adult conversation. You can't engage. You have to lie.
Is that what you're
You're a
doing?
fucking liar.
Is that an
You're a
adult
fucking liar.
conversation?
Lying liar. Fucking
Taylor?
lying liar.
Where'd you find this little fella, Taylor?
Because you cannot engage.
Well, it comes on all the time.
No,
It comes on the
why-
show all the time.
Yeah, well, why would you show off emotional problems like this? That's
Because
what I
you're lying and you're steamrolling. You're not answering. You're not. You came here to
What-
preach.
what am I- what am I
So
not
fucking
answering, son?
Congratulations. I'm not letting you preach. I'm not letting you preach.
Who's preaching? I was reading a
You're
dictionary
preaching.
definition.
This is not how debates work. This is not how engagement
I was
works.
reading
This
a
is not how
philosophical.
conversation
I was
works.
reading a
This is
definition
not
from
how
the
anything
encyclopedia. Okay. So you take it by blind faith that you're an atheist when you don't even know what an atheist is. That says a lot for your debate, son. You have nothing to offer here.
Is that it? Is that all you got?
No, that's all you have. You don't
Is
even
that
know
all
the
you got?
definition.
No. Oh fuck, buddy, I haven't even started. I
You
haven't
don't even
fucking
you don't
started.
even know the
All you've done
definition.
for the last 12 minutes now is steamroll the conversation. So
No.
congratulations.
No, that's what you've done. You won't even.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah, hey, how about let's do a moderator debate. But
Like,
first,
I'm
let's
sorry,
say
Taylor,
Gavin's
this
been
happens
sitting
all
there
the fucking
silent.
time.
Let's see what Gavin has to say first, and then we'll start a little format.
Gavin, good to meet you, by the way.
Oh, nice to meet you too.
Yeah, I didn't mean to just. I thought that I would begin this by just clarifying his stance, but it seems that we can't even clarify his stance because
I'm
he
glad
doesn't
that
even
you
know what an
clarified my
atheist is.
stance. I'm glad that
So-
you clarified my stance. Thank you for telling me what I think. Thank you.
Well, no, I'm just telling
thank
you
Oh,
what you
thank
think
you,
is
Mr.
wrong.
Man. I bet you have a lot of people kiss your fucking ass and pretend like you fucking know what you're talking about. Congratulations.
Okay.
You fucking feel good about yourself? You pulled out a couple fucking definitions, you steamrolled the conversation, and you didn't want to engage in honesty.
Whatever, son.
Congratulations. You're a
What?
big man now. You're a big man. Who's your big boy? Who's your big boy? You're the big boy. Oh, who's your big boy? Oh, who wants a treat? Who wants a treat? Who wants a treat? Who's the
Taylor,
fucking dumbass? Who's the fucking dumbass?
What kind of problem does this fella have, Taylor?
Jesus.
You. I would like to take now. Watch, Eric. Why don't you fucking take it back?
You idiot. You can't talk. You don't have to have a conversation. You make me ill. You make me ill. You make me want to puke every time I hear your voice, to be honest. As I say, I don't hate you. You just make me want to throw up. I mean, you're so pretentious as well. Keep calling people son and boy. He did it with Kevin and Graham. He knew it would annoy them. That's why he did it. Oh. Chat, somber reverence, and extreme thankfulness. That's, Bitten's latest live stream. And Eric is a liar. Or he's got the wrong end of the stick, which isn't unusual for him. Oh, look. Praise I am's in there. Dumpster fire. Oh. Jess Camping's in there. Oh, how long ago was that? October last year. It's only, 6 months ago? Oh, well. There we go. Didn't know Praise I Am was in there. Oh, yeah.
See, while the adults talk. Gavin, I would love to have a conversation with you. Please, would you like to go first, Gavin? Or would you like me to go first? Because I
I'll
would
go
like to
first.
talk
That's
to
fine.
you.
That's fine. I don't mind going first.
Sure. I would love to hear your thoughts.
I'm a last-minute replacement. So, what is the actual topic? What's the debate topic?
Well, Taylor.
Do atheists walk in blind faith?
No, hold on, Eric. Please, can you mute his mic? I'm having a conversation with Gavin. This isn't fair. I want to talk to Gavin, and I want to have a conversation with him. I want to engage one-on-one, back and forth, honestly. Because how else? What are we doing? We're fighting. We're screaming over each other. No one hears anything. And then what's
You're fighting, sir.
So, Gavin, if you would like to go
You're the
first,
one that's intimidated and fighting.
I'm not. No.
You're too
Anyway,
intimidated to
we're
listen
talking
to a
about faith,
definition.
Gavin. So
But
you can
Gavin,
shut up.
Gavin,
No
by
one's
all
talking to
means,
you. No one's talking to
Gavin,
you.
go
No one's
ahead.
talking
first.
to you.
The
No one's talking to you.
definition,
Shut
Gavin,
up.
is
Shut up.
do atheists
Shut
walk
up.
in blind
Shut up.
faith?
Shut up. Gavin.
Okay.
would you like to go
Okay.
first?
So do we get time for like an opening statement, or how's the format going to
You know
run?
what would you feel comfortable with? Would you just feel comfortable having like talking back and forth, or would you like to have an opening statement and then I'll have an opening statement? It's totally
Yeah,
up to
well,
you.
I've prepared an opening statement, but it's
Sure,
not that
please.
long. It's only about 5 minutes.
Please go ahead. I will listen to you. And let you
Okay.
talk.
So just can the moderator just tell me when to go?
What was that?
He wants you to
And the
time
moder-
tell him when to begin.
Yeah.
All right. Who's going? You guys have decided that Gavin's going to go first?
Yeah,
Gavin has a 5-minute opening statement.
All right. Yeah, hold on. Let me get my watch clock out. And look what the fucking cat dragged in. It's little Otangelo. Little Mr. I'm not interested in John's part anymore. It's a little Mr. I don't want to talk to you anymore. You hurt my feelings. Wants to talk to me, doesn't want to talk to me. All right, Gavin, you got 5 minutes. Let me get my watch clock up. I'm sorry, I got distracted by autistic Tangelo. Let's see. Let's get him up. All right, go ahead. Whatever you
Okay, so yeah, I'll go.
agree with this definition. So there you go. Now I'm going to say this.
There's no way to have any knowledge of any God. But since my opponents
you don't have a debate. Your debate is, do atheists walk in blind faith? Yes or no? That is this debate, son.
I already addressed it. I told you.
No, you haven't.
Faith. And then you just kept asserting.
You have faith that I don't know God.
You don't listen.
You might want to ask your guest, your agnostic guest, why he's not willing to accept the definition of the Stanford Philosophical Encyclopedia, along with all the other philosophical encyclopedias.
You weren't a while back, were you? Hypocrite.
Encyclopedias out there that are also agreed to by thousands of educated atheists.
Did you notice how he wouldn't even define certain basic terminology? So that's what he does. You skirted. You didn't even want to define what Gnosticism meant. You didn't even want to define what agnosticism meant.
I just did, using the encyclopedia.
What
Yes,
is
I did.
Gnosticism? What is Gnosticism?
I just explained all that.
What is it?
You talk through it. That's not my fault.
No. You ran.
I'm not, son. You don't have a debate. You don't have a debate. Your debate is, do atheists walk in blind faith? Yes or no? That is this debate, son.
I already addressed it. I told you.
No, you haven't.
Faith. And then you just kept asserting.
You have faith that I don't know God.
You don't listen.
You just claimed that it's impossible for us to know God.
That's right.
That's blind faith.
No, it isn't.
Son.
Show me the arbiter of God then. Show me the arbiter of God.
That has nothing to do with anything. Do you know what blind faith is, son?
Who is in charge
Do you have the slightest idea what blind faith means?
No, because you want to.
Why do you keep calling him son? What do you think you are? Everybody's granddad or something? What a nauseating individual. Believe it or not, I came across, stumbled across Eric about 5 or 6 years ago. Possibly a bit longer, actually. And I did get a snotty response from him. So, anyway. Yeah.
You won't define it. I asked you.
Oh, okay. So you don't know what blind faith is, and yet you're here in a debate claiming you don't walk in blind faith.
No, I don't know what your definition is, because obviously you've got your own definitions and you want to argue with them. So, okay.
Do you know what faith is?
I asked you. What is
Do you know what faith is?
I just explained it. Faith is a belief in God.
No, that's not what faith is.
Sure it is.
That's not faith.
Sure it is. I told you I can wipe my ass with faith because I go by reasonable confidence.
Pull up any definition that says faith is a belief in God.
Tell me one thing that I use faith for.
No, pull up any definition that says faith is a belief in God.
I can pull up definitions of.
Show it to me. Show it to me, kid.
I can't. I'm talking to you on the only device that I have available.
Give them the link. Look it up on your computer right now.
What is agnosticism?
Look it up on your computer.
What is
and
agnosticism?
give them the link to show us that faith means a belief in God. Give them the link. I'll wait.
I'm going by Ephesians.
No, I'm asking you what is blind faith? We're not talking about biblical faith. That's not the definite. That's not the debate, dude. The debate is blind faith. Do atheists walk in blind faith?
I'm using the definition.
The question is not, do you walk in biblical faith, kid?
I'm using the definition.
The definition is not, do you walk in biblical faith? Is do you walk in blind faith?
And I don't believe in faith.
So he doesn't even know what faith is.
I don't believe. See,
why would you bring
understanding?
Why would you bring on a guy that doesn't even understand the topic of the discussion is blind faith and doesn't even know what blind faith is?
Oh, Jimmy comes on all the time.
I know, but I mean, why would he agree with
okay, this is what they do. This is how they move the goalposts because they don't want to make. They don't want to use imperialistic definitions.
Yes.
He keeps skirting. He could keep skirting, and he can run because he's scared. Oh, you're scared.
Look at this. We got a 3-year-old.
Scared of the big atheist, the big scary.
Okay,
atheist. Dude. Fucking pathetic. You don't even want to engage honestly. You just
Not with
want
a
to keep it in
3-year-old.
terms. Oh, look at the
If I
standard.
wanted to debate with a 3-year-old,
I pulled the shit out of my ass.
if I wanted to debate,
If you wanted to debate with a 3-year-old, Eric, you could probably go and talk to yourself in the mirror. That'd be an idea, wouldn't it?
a 3-year-old, I would debate one with.
I've seen him doing this, in about 6 or 7 debates, different debates today. I wasn't going to listen to all of them. Same old stuff. Same old stuff. And he still does that today. Did it in Tom Jum's. The guy is almost totally disingenuous. I just had my tea. Apologies for that. Yeah. If you're watching and not coming in, I'm just wondering why. There's 4 of you. I don't know if Cheryl's there. Or Cheryl is still there, maybe. At least comment. I mean, nobody's going to bite you.
With common sense and manners.
Which you have none, sir. You are rude as fuck. I've been able to talk to Christians and never. The last 3 fucking assholes, you're all assholes.
Okay.
Pathetic.
Okay.
Pathetic.
Yeah. So we got a StreamYard link up, and you know who's not going to join? It's not going to be Incel Embley of God to show up and go, hey, Katie, my name is Adam. I go by Assembly of God. This is me. I'm not a grotesque little goblin that lives in my garden. No, because he won't. He won't let his deeds be manifest to us. It's a fucking incel.
Let him come on.
Yeah,
let
him come on. Let's come on. Come on, Assembly of God. Introduce yourself. You have to look at her so much. Why can't she look at you? Why can't she look at you?
Do you understand the point?
I'll bet you by the time I'm drunk and asleep, that motherfucker has not shown his face.
Pukoff, do you understand what Gnosticism is?
I do, and I understand that the vernacular of those words kind of get confused.
But what do you think Gnosticism
with like
is?
the original etymology of gnosis? So Gnosticism is a collection of beliefs that kind of, what's the word, reached a nexus, like during the proto-Christian era when they were setting up the, proto-Christian institutions, pre-churches. So Gnosticism is actually like a real thing.
I know, but I'm talking about epistemology. What is agnosticism and what is Gnosticism? What is the difference between the two?
So with that, if you take the etymology of gnosis, which, as you know, is knowledge, agnosis means lack of knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's, ignorant comes from the same word.
Yeah.
Gnosis means to have a knowledge, but it's not necessarily the kind of knowledge that we would associate with Christian faith.
Mm-hmm.
So what is... I don't know. I feel like it's really important to lay down definitions like this because it's
very important. And so what is theism?
Convoluted.
What is theism? Pukoff, what is theism?
A collection of beliefs in God.
And what does any of this have to do with the debate?
Okay, here, see what he does? He's
what does any of this have to do with the debate?
And he wants to interrupt it. What is the A? What do you think the A means in atheism? What do you think that means?
I just asked you, what does any of this have to do with you saying
you're misconstruing
you having blind
faith? Same thing. Hey, do you want to listen to? No, see, this is what you did. You steamrolled and interrupted so many times.
Oh, yeah, right.
You can't just listen to people. So I don't know how you expect to preach for God when you won't.
Do you think men can be women?
Paul, that is his sole tactic. I've looked at him. I just thought I'd have a look. I did a YouTube search. I've got a couple of his so-called debates uploaded on my channel. I just haven't made them public. I thought, well, I'll go and have a look at them today. Nobody's live streaming. I can't get in contact with Bill, blah, blah.
as ignoring Skype. I'm just not going to. Bill, if you're listening, I won't be messaging on Skype again. In other words, phoning you on Skype. If you want to discuss anything, just call me on Skype. I tried to call about 10 or 15 times yesterday. But anyway, that is Eric's only tactic. It's all he ever does. All of the so-called debates I've had a look at over the last 5 years, including his recent one with T. Jump, which he paid $75 for. I got that. I can prove that as well. I did do on another stream. $75 for a 1 hour discussion, so-called debate with T. Jump. And all he could do was keep talking over him, calling him son, boy, lad. The usual diminutive, I would say, ad hominem. And that's all he... Once he got somebody triggered, as he, that was for Eric, as he calls it, he just hammers down on it, and then he comes away thinking he's won a debate because he managed to get somebody angry and frustrated. The guy's trying to communicate with him. I've seen it so many, 5 or 6 times today, 5 or 6 different so-called debates. They cannot get through to his thick skull. And he says he's ex-military intelligence. I say, what a load of shite. Well, he did, and I can prove it. I've shown the email. I think I can go to that email now. The truth is, I've got a bad habit of deleting them, but I've already streamed it and shown it on a previous live stream. So, just making a cup of tea. He won't admit it, by the way, that he paid $75 for that. 42 minutes. Initially, hold on. Initially, I said he'd paid $50 for the 1 hour because I'd seen T. Jump get paid $50 for a debate on Clubhouse with John Lee and Matt Slick. He got $50. Or they might have given him $100 because it was 2 of them debating T. Jump. I know for a fact Eric had to pay $75 for that 42 minutes that he got. You know, I don't know, Cheryl. I've seen Pooh Cough. What's her username now? Pooh Cough, the Great Temple Harlot. I honestly do not know. I really don't. I've never been to that channel regularly. But Pooh Cough is a woman as far as I know. I actually thought like 20 minutes ago, Pooh Cough is John Spot's Toxic Taylor's wife or girlfriend or something. I don't honestly know, Cheryl. You might be better asking Praise. Ask Praise I Am. I don't know who else. I mean, you could go to... I'll put a link to this. This is John Spot's channel. I'll put a link to this video in there again. You could ask him. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I don't know. He's very protective of Pooh Cough. But anyway, just making this cup of tea. Well, yeah, I've got some biscuits lined up. making me a cup of tea. Yeah. Oh, you're driving soon, are you? Yeah. That's right. It's a fact.
Oh my God.
Paul, I wouldn't lie about it. I've no reason to. I don't like Eric. I don't make any bones about it. It makes me skin crawl. But I wouldn't lie about him. I'm not a liar. I don't know everything, so I can't always tell the truth. But where I do know what the truth is or whatever, right, I'll say it. I'll tell it. Because I know people don't like the truth. That's why. And I can prove it. Now let's just go back to this garbage.
So we're going to whataboutism now? This
Do you
is
believe-
youth
do you
cult
believe-
members. You
do you
do
believe
all the
men
same.
can be women?
Are we going to talk about CRT next? Are we talking about the southern border? Oh, what else are we going to talk about? What about Biden? Let's go,
I
Brandon.
noticed you're a Trump hater.
Oh, let's go, Brandon. I can
Yeah.
already tell you're a Trump supporter, aren't you?
Jimmy,
Well, so is John Spot.
Are you a Trump supporter?
So yes, I am, and so
Oh,
was
what a surprise! What a
Yeah,
fucking surprise!
yeah.
We
What a
have been
surprise!
known-
See, I
so was Ray
prophesied.
Bay.
I
So was Ray Bay.
Yeah, we have been known as the Trump.
I know
Probably part of a
everything
global
about you.
President Trump.
You're all you guys are in a cult. You're in a big
So
cult.
you think-
all
you think-
think the same.
You
That's
think
why I
Ray
would
Bay
wipe
was
the
in a
fucking
cult?
floor with you guys.
You think
all
Ray
the same.
Bay? You think Ray Bay was in a cult?
Alhamdulillah, John. You know, you will not
We don't talk
blaspheme our
about
channel.
We don't bring up Ray Bay.
I do because he was my friend.
He was my friend too.
Well, are you calling him a cultist?
I loved Ray.
Well,
And when I'm
then,
talking
was
about Ray-
he a cultist?
What's that?
Was he a cultist?
I'm
He
not
was a
talking
Trump
about Ray.
supporter.
I'm not
He
talking
was-
about Ray.
No,
We're
you
not-
said
Ray's not-
Trump
listen,
supporters are
We don't
cultists.
speak of the dead here.
I do.
Okay? In negative
In
terms. And we're not-
remembrance.
We're not talking about
This-
Ray.
Ever.
Right, I've got that email here. If you want, I'll show it you on screen now. Yeah, it is funny. Sharing screen now. Right, this is my email. Can you see that there? I don't care if you've got my real email address. You can check tejump@comcast.net. You can check that. That is his email address on his channel, T-Jump. It's easy enough to find. I'm sure you've heard of him or you've seen him around. My question to him was, will you tell me how I get into a debate with you on your YouTube channel? Thank you, Bob. T-Jump's answer, I'm going to enlarge this just to make sure you can see. Right, there you go. There's my email address. Please don't email me, you know. I don't need it. It'll only get blocked if it's nasty. And this is what he says. I charge $75 for debates / interviews, comma. If that's fine with you, PayPal me and we can set up a date / time. Thanks, Tom. There's Tom. Right. I said, thank you, Tom. I am sub to you. What did you think of the debate with Eric Jewell, please, Bob? Hi, Bob. The cost of interviews is the same for subscribers. The debate with Eric was frustrating because he kept interrupting me, so I had to mute him. Thanks, Tom. Nothing unusual there, Tom. I think he's well known for it. Hopefully, he thought the $75 was worth it. Now then, when did I sent him an email, in other words, to Tom Jump, on the 20th of March, 9:20 in the morning this year. It was only, what, 2 weeks ago, 20th? No, nearly 4 weeks. I got a reply, the same day, at 3:45 on the 20th of March. And then I got a further reply, the next day at 2:50 on the 21st of March. And so, $75. Wouldn't it be interesting if Eric lied about it? There you go.
Eric, can I ask you something?
Yes.
Oh. Can we just put terms away? Okay, just for a second. Just converse with it. You can ask me as many questions as you want. Okay. All I ask is that I don't have time.
Not all of them, but people like T Jump and one or two others can do. He makes a living out of it, apparently. I mean, put it this way, if Tom Jump, and he does, and he can, earn $75 an hour, which is about $1. It's nearly $2, isn't it, a minute? If he gets 5 1-hour discussions in a day, that's that's $450 a day, 5 days, $2,500 a week in his hand, in his PayPal. That's pretty good. But I don't think he gets them that regularly. I don't know. He might do. I mean, he certainly got called into a debate on Clubhouse, and I think he got as a bare minimum $50. I don't know if you remember Nicholas, Proclaimer of Messiah. He went into a debate with Tom Jump. It's on Tom Jump's channel. He made an absolute fool of himself. But he would have paid the $50 for the hour. So, well, it is pretty good money, $2,500 a week. And I'm assuming if he doesn't declare it, I mean, if he's already got a job, I mean, he gets that money. Put it this way, you put money into your PayPal account, and you can buy stuff from PayPal. It's not going to get taxed. The only thing he's going to lose out of that money is what PayPal take. And it's just digital money, isn't it, really? I don't know. I don't know how it works over there. But even so, $2,500 a week, that I wouldn't mind that. It is pretty good money. Nicholas, with the race car bed.
Look at your terms, whatever. Let's just talk as two people. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Now you think, I walk in blind faith. Okay, that's what you think, and I don't think so, because I live my life by what I can demonstrate, and I use evidence and reasonable confidence. Okay. Now, you think I use blind faith? Okay. Now I say I don't know if there's a God or not. I know enough. I'm humble enough to realize that this universe is really big, man. It's mind-blowingly big. I can't wrap my head around how big it is. With that kind of saying, that's the mentality I go in. I was a Christian for 20 years. I'm telling you. People accuse me of not being. Okay, it doesn't matter. But I realized how much I didn't know. And I came to a conclusion, and I saw like the division in it, and I realized I saw people smarter than me disagreeing with each other. You could line up 20 Christians in a room, and they're all going to think differently about God. And then you could throw in a Muslim, and you could throw in a Jehovah's Witness, and take your pick. And everyone's going to have different thoughts. And I just see how much damage it's doing. Like that January 6th insurrection is scary to me as a Canadian watching this happening, because you guys are supposed to be the beacon of light for democracy. And this man who is like, that was scary. I don't think Americans realize like how impactful you guys are on the world.
Well, if I could comment on that for just a moment.
Sure, please go ahead.
The media has a way of slanting things. If that was an insurrection, you would have seen millions or thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people out there armed, and they wouldn't have invaded the house unarmed. They would have gone in to actually take it over, but they didn't do that. Not only that, but there's proof now. There's absolute proof that they were let in, dude. We didn't
trust in man and maketh flesh his arm.
Oh, but you know.
Hold on
You're
a second.
disobedient, you're fucked.
Is anybody coming in to talk, to chat? No, I haven't seen him around. He used to hang around Graham and Kevin a lot, and CJ. And just listening to how he interacts with people, I just wondered about his sanity. I haven't seen him around any of the channels lately. He may have been. I don't know.
Let Eric. It's Eric's turn to talk, so let him talk. Right.
All I'm saying is, you just literally proved that verse true. That out of the same mouth, blessings and cursings.
No, you guys are cursing me. I'm trying to bless you.
Nobody
I'm telling
cursed
you.
Oh, what a baby!
And even if they
You
did,
want your lollipop, preacher?
even if they did curse you, that does not
Trying to lump me
excuse
in the bunch with the fucking
that
heathens.
does not excuse blessings and cursings come out of your same mouth.
They don't,
At the
though. I
same
only bless
time. You just did.
I only bless people.
Eric, he's an antinomian. He disregards the law. That's why he can't appreciate
Free
that
from the
verse.
law. I'm not under the law. I'm under grace. That's not an antinomian.
See,
Eric,
you hear
can I
that?
ask
He
Eric
put
a
his
question?
statement right there.
Can I ask Eric a question?
Absolutely.
Eric, can I ask you a question? Okay.
Yes.
So we had a pretty contentious start.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Look how much you guys are getting
Okay,
along now.
but
Perfect.
But you're King James only, but you don't know why you're fucking.
He would not afterward have spoken of another day. So let's think about this sentence.
I don't listen to Ryan. No thanks.
This guy's more off the walls.
Oh yeah. I didn't realize I'd commented on that actual stream.
I don't believe
Forgot about that.
any
Forgot about that.
power or principality can fuck with the elect.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
what my Bible says.
I have the duck skull. I just don't know where the fuck it is.
Well, I did see that Perry has he's now got a merch shop on his preacher channel. So if anybody wants to support his serial killer habits, there's the place to go.
Watch
No,
hey, James,
I
James.
saw
First of all,
that
you didn't come up. If you want a pair of pink sinless panties for $30,
Those are great. I love those.
No, but Jessica, where's
Bible study, right? Can you also send me some of your beard hair and your cigarette ashes?
We don't have that much longer left. Oh,
Send
you
me
want?
your beard hair and cigarette ashes too.
Wait, what?
Do it. Just a small clipping. Just like
No, the
3
hair. Okay, I got the cigarette ashes, but what else?
beard clipping.
Beard clipping.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now that whatever you do, it's going to return onto your own head.
Yes, of course. It's the rule of 3.
Deal?
Yeah.
I'll do the whole thing. Yeah, deal.
Yeah. Okay, deal. Okay.
I'll show you whose God wins.
Okay. Well, I don't have a God.
Well, you got something up your sleeve.
No, I just got more
I've
sleeves
got a
up my
lot up.
Other.
Pukov, are
It
you
says
able to hear
before
me?
you go to the. There's been a request that you mute Perry for.
You lied on me. Never again. He's really upset about that shit.
Is he crying in the chat? Like,
Yo,
Well, no, he messaged me. He's
we
really
just pulled
upset
up the
about that.
receipts. We just pulled up the receipts though. Like we just showed
Oh, it's
what
Steve
happened.
McRae in there.
Tell him to.
Steve McRae tried to have a debate with Wolf, bitter Lionheart, ex-military intelligence, not that intelligent. Yeah, he's in there listening. Surprised he bothered to stay. I mean, I don't know if he's regular to this channel. Steve McRae, I've heard his name bandied about. Oh, he's in there. He's in there. Let's have a look. Starts there. Let's see what, because Steve McRae has had a so-called debate with Bitten.
Years old. Oh, I'm sorry. You're probably 60 by now, because it has been like fucking 5 years.
so how do you zoom in on the pictures again? I'm just trying to figure out from you just
Nah,
click
this
on
one,
the
right?
picture.
This one, he dated another friend of mine, right? But she's like older than you, Pukop, but she's like still way the fuck younger than him. she's like my age, right? And this one's like in his fucking 60s, and then it's probably this. I hope it's the same. I hope you're still dating the same chick.
Steve, come on up, dude. Join us. Taylor's gonna pester you until you do.
You come right the fuck up on up, Mr. McGay. I don't boot people. I've been on your show. You can come on my show.
Yeah, Taylor doesn't boot people, unlike Preacher.
I'll tell you. And we got him. What's up, Steve? Been a long
Hey,
time.
how's it going, Steve?
Yo, what's up? All right, who the hell are you talking about, Taylor? Yeah.
Huh?
Who are you talking about?
You still dating the same person you dated 4 years ago?
Who
I
the
don't
hell
wanna
are you
drop
talking about? No, drop names. 'Cause I don't know the hell you're talking about.
Huh?
There's only been one person that I've dated in the last 3 or 4 years, and we haven't spoken to each other in like 2 years.
What happened?
Well, who the hell are you talking about?
We're talking about the same person. I know.
I know.
Remember that when you had your little KJP controversy, you said, "Well, I'm dating her, and he's dating."
Yeah,
Remember when you
but I haven't
posted that on
spoken to
Facebook?
her. I haven't spoken to her in like 2 years. So what the hell are you talking
What
about?
happened? What
Well, that's none
happened?
of your business. But who is this dead
That was
friend
my
you're
friend.
talking about?
That was my
What?
friend until she joined your little fucking code.
Well, okay, she was my friend too. I dated her. And your point?
All right.
So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Who's your dead friend?
Huh?
Who is your?
You know who
you
my
said-
fucking dead friend is?
No, I don't. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you. I have no
Yes,
idea
you
who the hell
do.
you're talking about.
We
No,
used to
I do
fucking
not.
chat. We used to argue tooth and nail over creationism all the fucking time.
Yeah, I
And then he
remember that, but
abruptly
I-
died, didn't say anything, and you're in there talking a bunch of fucking shit in the creationist group, talking a bunch of
Who?
shit about a fucking dead guy with like
Who?
no fucking moral fiber whatsoever.
Who?
You know who the fuck I'm talking
No,
about?
I do not. I've
See,
had
that-
3
that's
or
the
4
point.
close
You have a
friends die
fucking
of
no-so, bro.
my friends, but I don't know
No-so.
who the fuck you're talking about.
No, so
Then tell me who you're talking about.
you know exactly who I'm fucking.
No, if
talking
I
about.
did, I wouldn't be asking
That's
you.
why we haven't talked in so long.
I have no idea what the man's talking about. No fucking clue in the world. I've had friends die of mine, but that you have nothing to do with you. Bullinator died, who's a producer of my show. He died,
Who
but
died?
he wasn't your friend.
Who died a couple years ago?
Bullinator, OBT
Well,
lawyer.
Who
Heretic
did you have a
woman.
little? Who did you have a little fucking piss ant drama war with? And then the guy abruptly dies, and you're still talking shit about him.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
hard to figure out.
It is. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
So
I know
has that
thousands of
happened?
people.
Have you talked shit about multiple people that just died?
Who?
Or is there like one specific guy who
Oh,
died? And you're still talking
remind
about you're
him.
gonna rain hell on him. Like, look, we have to sort through how many people, dead people, you talk shit about.
And he was a creationist.
Huh? No, he's an anti-creationist.
You talking about
The guy that I debated on your fucking channel twice.
You talking about the guy that debated Ken Hovind?
Ken Hovind is a creationist.
Yeah, I know Ken Hovind is. His wife was on my channel the other day.
I'm a creationist. So
Yeah,
I
I know
debate an anti-creationist, and we become friends, right? That's not impossible. Opposite
Okay,
track.
but I
We
still
became
have
good
no
friends.
idea what the hell you're talking about.
Go back. You remember when I came on your channel?
Why don't you just
When did I
tell
come on
him?
your channel?
No.
What was his name? Yeah.
Habitually. Post.
Well, by valence. So basically, what that square does is it's just a completeness of.
That sounds
possible
like
positions.
the beginnings of like Schrodinger's semiotic square.
Being at the top and everything, and that's how the world is. But he's saying it's not supposed to be that way among you. And he's saying, like, whoever's least among you, let him be your minister. Like, it's always about, looking at the bottom, the people who are weak in spirit, and just building them up. 1 Peter chapter 5 verses 2. He was up to, and
Moderator, I don't care who it is. Get an atheist moderator. Let's do it on an atheist channel. Atheist moderator, your choice. I don't care.
What did you guys debate the first 1 or 2 times?
Oh, they're on my channel. But you can't get a word in with Eric. He just overtalks you. It's called bird
No.
dog.
You choose a moderator. Choose a moderator.
Did it.
Yeah, it is true.
He will
Choose a
never
channel.
allow you to finish a sentence.
Choose a channel. Choose a moderator. I don't care who it is.
Over and over and over you.
I don't care who it is. We'll do times. We'll do time sections.
I will give you the debate, Ryan. You can go check it out. You can see exactly what he did. He got his ass handed to him, and it was pretty bad, actually.
Okay.
What was the debate though? Atheism versus.
You can talk all the garbage you want, son, but we know you won't do it again. We know.
Right.
We know.
You do it yourself, Eddie. You just don't stop. You talk your garbage over everybody.
Well, you're absolutely right about that.
You won't, and
You're
that's
right.
what. Why.
I have a rule against people that I find to be
Sure, you do.
unwell.
That's
Mentally unwell.
awfully convenient.
It very much so, and I do it with flat earthers too.
Yeah, well, I'm not a flat earther, dude.
No, but you're a younger creationist, so that's only one step up.
No, I'm not a young Earth creationist.
You were.
No, you're a liar. I'm an older creationist. Everybody that knows me knows that.
You were. Oh yeah, you weren't.
You're a liar. You're a liar, just like you're lying about everything else.
You weren't. You're a gap creationist.
No,
Well,
there is no gap.
I have the debate right here. And
Yeah.
Ryan, check it out.
Check it out by all means.
It's
at that point, we had agreed on a totally different debate. The day before, and it was supposed to be a debate discussion sort of a thing where we sat down, had friendly discussion, and then he wanted to change. Then he wanted to change the subject, and then he changed his stances. The stances that he told me he took the day before, just the day before.
So Ryan,
change those stances.
Ryan.
Can I just say?
And I had just had 2 strokes.
Eric, calm down. Objectively speaking, I just got to say this is why YouTube is amazing. I click on the link, and the title of it is Steve McRae completely destroying Eric Wolfman and Drew.
Yeah.
Read the description.
YouTube is just so ridiculous. Like, I'm gonna watch. This
Now ask him why he won't debate me on this subject right now.
Right.
I go to Eric's channel. Eric's same videos and say Eric Wolfman completely destroys Steve. Like,
you're right, Eric.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
No, you don't see that on my channel. No, you don't.
Taylor, Ryan, Pukoff, do you mind if I make one statement before I go? Because I know that just for a second, I really just want to make a statement before I go.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, but I want to ask
you
a question when you're done, so don't leave yet.
Okay, but so you have this confusion and frustration of trying to understand where Perry's coming from, and a lot of it has to do. Please,
I'm talking to Ryan.
I don't care,
Ryan.
On a moral code of law, obligatory law, which would be a deal.
Context. You haven't even listened to anything I said. I tried to.
Yeah, right. I listened to you fuckers. Well, you were in my chat. But I listened to both those fuckers air out their dirty laundry on my live. That's right. We're all
man. I'm glad you're still here.
But let Pukoff tell the story if you don't want it for me.
Pukoff is the storyteller. She's the narrator.
Okay. Well, on one of our live streams, we had Carrie Mittman come to talk with us about Mr. Perry, the preacher, and she revealed a lot of interesting details about how Perry approaches women.
It was
and-
tragic.
Yeah,
Is this,
it was
wait,
tragedy.
is this his wife, ex-wife, ex-girlfriend?
Perry,
Perry,
actually, it's funny you say that because Perry was trying to pitch her to be his new wife, and he was grooming his wife, just like how he grooms his kids to lie for him. But anyways, he was grooming his wife, and then so he fucked Carrie. And then after he told his wife this things are going to be, and then also after he told Carrie this is the way it's going to be, that's how it wasn't. It was not like
Jesus
that.
Christ! And they say I run a sex cult.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy,
anyways,
Damn.
so everybody, they're all like Jessica Piskash, whatever the fuck your name is. Everybody's calling Carrie a whore. Carrie is a saint. I love her. She is my sister. And yeah, me and her might have had one fun. Dude, literally, it's not about all that shit.
Yeah,
it
no
has
big
nothing to
deal.
do with that. That's what
Adults.
everybody. Oh, I caught you in the act of adultery. Yeah, me and Carrie fucked one time, but I
Whatever,
never did to Carrie what Perry did. And Perry, he told her everything that she wanted to hear. Listen. Perry told Carrie everything that she wanted to hear.
Other people when they talk, or does he just talk on his
Well, I was trying to make a point, but go ahead,
No,
Ryan.
you let Pukov
Go
talk
ahead,
for
Ryan. No,
30
go ahead.
seconds. Oh,
My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm jealous. My bad. Go ahead.
Pukov was telling the story about Perry and Carrie because that's
Pukov story time part 2.
Well, y'all go ahead and
so
tell a
good.
story that
Well-
y'all weren't even there for. Go ahead, tell the story.
I don't want to talk with my mouth full, so Randall can take it away.
Randall got the.
As I was saying, that Carrie, you know what's crazy about it is in Skype groups, her profile picture was always the profile picture of the woman kissing the feet, and that's why Carrie came out to Illinois was to serve in a full faith heart. It wasn't a matter of being used or abused by anybody. Perry took that upon himself, and then
because this
comprehensible. That's why that is.
I'm
the
just
etymology.
I see what you're saying, but I'm just a faithful witness. Like, I'm not sitting there trying to tell you that you have to do. What are you talking about? I never went to college.
Well, clear.
Just about.
Well,
those are good explanations because people can't prove those.
I wonder who else is streaming. I wonder, is Dave streaming? I don't really bother going over to Dave's anymore anyway. What's the point? Kevin's biblical discussions. What's he doing? Oh, happy Resurrection Day. Christian ethics. Huh. No, there's nothing worth watching. Nothing going on today. Why? I'm going to lay down for half an hour. I'm going to finish my cup of tea, have a smoke. Unless somebody comes in and wants to chat, the link's pinned. I'm not going to ask again. I'm going to go in about 5 minutes. I might even delete this video, this live stream. Or hide it, or whatever, I don't know. Right, as soon as this bit of music is finished, there's about 1 minute of it, I'm going. Unless somebody makes a comment or comes in. And even then I might just go anyway.
I found a picture of Ben